You want to change it to low?
No, it's okay. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Idea Studio live stream. I'm Dana.
I'm Jip.
And today, we're just hanging in the studio on a Saturday, talk about what's going on at Bangkok, how things are progressing here, the different things that we have going on. The city's kind of in a state of not turmoil, but...
What's that word mean?
Turmoil is like trouble. And it's not crisis, but we do have some restrictions in place here in the Big Mango. As of today, restaurants do not have dine-in.
Correct.
And
just 6 provinces.
the dark red district.
The dark red.
So Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket, I believe are all dark red. Phuket's not?
Not Phuket.
Okay, that's good. So yeah,
Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Chonburi, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, and what else?
The Pathum Thani is directly to the north of us, if you guys don't know. So real quick, I see
Samut Prakan.
Steve in the chat. What's going on? Joe, I saw you in there from earlier. Just give me 5 more minutes. Joe knows what's up. I saw Emazaki and Boko popped in at 4 a.m. and left a comment.
What?
Yeah.
4 a.m.
4:08 a.m.
Wow.
So thanks for rocking with us saying the live stream, guys. Gotta love Thailand. Dave, what's going on, man? Hey, Dave, how's things out in Surin? Are you guys, I don't know if Surin's a red zone or not, or are you guys orange? Mics. Love the new mics. Yeah, we got the road mics, the pod road mics.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Yeah, how are you and Gracie doing, man? Travis, how's things in New Zealand, man? Oh, that picture of the road. Wow.
Is it real?
That's crazy. That's like some earthquake stuff. DT, what's going on? Hey, guys, thanks for coming in. Yeah, so there's an interesting situation in Bangkok. As of today, restaurants are closed for dine-in. They still can do delivery.
Takeaway.
Nationwide, takeaway also. Nationwide mask mandate.
Yes.
And what else? And then there's not much else restriction. There's no curfew.
No curfew.
But
some province they ask not to leave the house like in the night, like 10 p.m. until like 4. It depends on the province.
Yeah. Uma, what's going on? Thanks for coming by. Little Sangran photo there, it looks like, on the profile pic. That's cool. Pascal Laporte, greetings from Canada. Hey, man.
Oh, Canada.
Thanks for coming by. How cold is it there right now? Well, actually, no. Canada should be in the middle of summer. I guess it depends on where you are.
Is it summer now?
Yeah. Remember Kate? We have a friend, Kate, from British Columbia, sisters of our friend Bev. Two awesome people. Kate. And she does work in the Northwest provinces. And she said it's basically middle of summer. It's still cold there. Still wearing a jacket.
Oh.
Yeah. Remember she was talking
about
they when they get the meat and they just all go out and like eat the meat and it's frozen like as they eat it. Yeah, kind of wild.
Cannot
life.
Stay like that.
21 Celsius today. It's a nice temperature.
Cool.
Yeah, I like 21. Jib would die. Oh, so Dave says they're orange out in.
Orange. Okay. Yeah. So good.
Mike's just hanging indoors. That's all we're really doing. Actually, Mike had a case in his building, so in his complex, not his building.
Oh.
A Sangran with kids 2 years ago. Nice. Yeah, that definitely wasn't from anywhere after 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No 2020, no 2021.
Yes.
Oh, so Travis is going for yarn today. He said, any ideal ply you would like blends with alpaca? So I told him basically anything New Zealand, like native New
anything.
Zealand. Yeah. Like maybe sport weight, worsted weight. No super chunky, right?
No, I don't like chunky.
Yeah. Actually, Jib has a hat she made, super chunky hat. Remember the pixie looking hats?
I don't know why I said no.
Yeah, I think like anything worsted or as long as it's like native New Zealand, I think that's the coolest thing about the New Zealand yarn, that'd be native New Zealand. But yeah, worsted weight, sport weight,
Get like maybe fine or lace. It's okay too.
Fine or lace, yeah. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
when will it come?
Well, it's funny. He's in New Zealand. I saw his email this morning. They're basically still COVID free.
Oh.
And they have a travel bubble with Australia.
Okay.
And they still have a 14-day quarantine. but like outdoor, no mask. He showed me a photo of a book sale, 200 people. Like just like really, like they've been strict with everything, and it just really worked out for them. Oh, he says, okay, 4-ply lighter. Big thumbs up from Jib.
So you can tell the seller in the shop that I will need a shawl.
Shawl, okay. New Zealand shawl, the shawl from New Zealand yarn. What is that? These guys other way.
What they give us?
He's making a joke. Set fire to the guy who got copified.
Wait. White triangle is a K.
Or like old witch hunting hats.
Huh?
What's Uma says? You do some vlogs, Chris. I'm looking for you. Oh yeah, I did some stuff with Chris with Retired Working for You. Yeah, Chris is a great guy. Actually, we have another one coming out soon of where I took Chris out herping with my buddy Rob, and we basically went snake. I don't call it snake hunting, snake looking for snakes, and
get bite.
Yeah, not get bit. Luckily. So Pascal says we need some Bangkok stranger in our lives again soon. Yeah. When so Gracie just got here, and so like obviously Mike was traveling right away when Gracie was here, and then now like just kind of the isolation and just to play it safe. When things are, I think when Bangkok's not a red zone, it will be good. Like I haven't even met Gracie yet. Like they basically were traveling and came back and we're like, yeah, we're not going out because that shit's crazy, and we can't blame them. We're not really going out either. I mean, I go out and film a little bit. Other than that, it's like we're staying away from groups of people, not really having people over. So, and I think Mike and Gracie just playing it safe as well, because why risk it at this point?
They already have short, just go grab like
food,
fruit,
and try to go off and off hours,
and then just come back.
And Mike was saying like they already had a case in their complex, so luckily not his building.
Okay, complex, not the same building.
Mike got some overalls on order. That's good, Mike. Get you in a pair of those. Just the tops. You don't need the bottoms.
What?
Hey, Jeff, what's going on, man? How's things out where you are? So one of the things, we have a video I'm editing right now. We're obviously in peak mango season. And so I'm editing that up as we speak. We filmed a mango sticky rice video like you guys voted on in the channel, in the community tab. So we filmed that, and I got a bunch of B-roll. We actually had to film it. We had to film it 2 days in a row. So I shot all the B-roll with the GoPro at 50 FPS. And then I got the Sony ZV-1. And I was like, oh, we'll film on this. And it's got a tally light and everything, right? So like I set it up and we were filming, and I never hit record. I didn't notice that the tally light wasn't on. So I was very upset. I had to have mango and sticky rice for a second day in a row. Oh my.
Is this your plan that you can eat double?
Yeah, Frank only has people over for animal emergencies. We had a feline adventure yesterday with senior Frank. And Frank actually, you'll be seeing some shorts coming up with Jib sampling American candy, thanks to Frank. And then there'll probably be some shorts of Jib getting like dialysis in the future. With the amount of sugar that.
Oh my God.
Actually, we'll have a video soon of Jib having her first Twinkie.
Oh yeah, I want to try that.
Thai girl reacting to American Twinkie.
I don't know how it tastes.
Like a Twinkie. I have no other way to
explain it. I don't know. I always like
a mass-produced.
I always like hear this name from movie, and I wonder like how it tastes. Why like a character in the movie say this name?
Mm-hmm. So everything at our place is good. I mean, we've been busy. Our daughter's here hanging with us for the until she goes back to school. So
not soon.
Yeah, they pushed her school back.
Yes.
So she's been working from here, kind of hanging out, studying, working on some art, working on projects. This weekend, I'm committed to filming and finishing the 2 bags that are going out for the 5K giveaway. So that will be fun, and you guys will see that. That will be in the mail and up on the channel soon. And actually, we just hit 6K, so thank you to you guys for getting us to 6K. We appreciate that a great deal. Jiv is still trying to finish her final project. It's coming along slowly but surely.
Yeah,
quite detailed. Everything good here. I wish it was better for, man, despite what, like, we've got high cases right now. We were below 2,000 yesterday.
It's about like 15.
Yeah, which was great. It's nice to see that downward trend. However, in retrospect, one of our other subscribers is from Detroit, and Michigan has 4,000 a day at the low end. So we're like, ultimately, we're in good shape. The government is just taking measures to ensure that we don't get worse. It seems to be settling down. Yeah. I mean, other than Klong Toy, right? Klong Toy, fucking
Klong Toy.
Klong Toy. We used to live there. I can't even say it.
Klong
Toy.
Toy.
That T whatever sound I have trouble with.
Huh?
Steve says Twinkies taste like super moist grease with cream filling. That sounds about right. That's kind of what I remember them as. Senior Frank, Twinkies taste like Happy, if Happy is sugar, vanilla, and oil.
Okay, so that sounds good.
That's essentially the same two. But
the way Frank explained it is nicer.
Yeah. India's out of control right now. They're actually, I read that India is moving towards herd immunity, actually. So they'll actually have so many infections and so many vaccinated that they'll have herd immunity.
Are you sure?
Twinkies taste like America. Absolutely, yeah. Twinkies taste like freedom. Freedom, America. Mike's going off to work on BKKFM. Have a good one, Mike. Tell Gracie we say hi. So yeah, Twinkies taste like freedom. Like American flags, fireworks.
So when I eat it, I can speak English, right?
You speak English already. Your English might get worse.
How?
You might devolve into like Florida man or something. Florida woman. There's also like hot tamales and Twizzlers in there, which I'm excited for the hot tamales. There's like a cinnamon candy. I love cinnamon candies. Love. Oh man, yeah. The Bangkok right now. I mean, other than we were up on. Jib went up for food yesterday to the market, to the Sukhumvit, and
95.
95. But you also get the rice is from Sukhumvit, not from 95. And got me taro rice and everything. Like I said, I rode the bike up yesterday. Senior Frank had just came back from the U.S. and found a cat living in his gym. It just got in there, but that was a little adventure.
It's lucky because if it's there many days before this, it will be bad.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, that's true. It would have been in rough shape, and it wasn't. It wasn't malnourished or anything. And yeah, I rode the bicycle up there, which was fun because usually I only get to take the bike out. Right now, when I go out to drop off packages for Jib, I'll take it up to post. Twinkies you remember as a child is horrible as an adult. Yeah, that's true with a lot of things. Movies that I thought were amazing as a kid, not so great anymore. Food I thought was great as a kid, not so great anymore. So there's definitely some
it's
downside.
Changed by your experience.
Yeah. New York hardcore. What's going on, Todd? How you doing, man? You're out in, was it Koh Lanta you're in now? You just moved into like a beachfront place out in Koh Lanta, great views.
Koh Lanta.
Exactly. That's what I said. Cake form of crack. Yeah, basically, Twinkie is like the crack version of cake.
No.
Patrick, what's going on, man? How's Texas? How you doing out there? You guys pretty much all recovered now from your blizzard, or what's going on? They have what? Wait, what? What?
Lemonade flavor.
No, that just doesn't sound right. Lemonade flavor. I guess it could be like a lemon meringue, right? Is that maybe?
Why?
I don't know. It just sounds weird. But again, I also saw
Lemonade sounds good.
They had Kool-Aid flavored Oreos at one point, so I can't hate. Yeah, he's in Atlanta, not beachfront. It's a pair house. Oh, okay, nice. That's not bad. So we've been getting a ton of rain in Bangkok.
Oh yeah.
And actually, the video that I think will drop tonight is just video from the rain. So I was actually chatting with Frank the other day. I was like, oh, it's raining like crazy. Like, oh, sounds like the perfect chance to use the 9. I was like, I was like making an excuse. He's like, hey, you could do it. I'm not telling you to wuss out. I'm just giving you the option. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Why not? So I threw the GoPro onto a selfie stick real quick and ran out to film in the rain. And I got like maybe like 6 or 7 minutes of like solid rain and then another like 4 minutes of it getting lighter. But I made it out to the Soy 93. And you guys might know that we have these awnings in Bangkok. A lot of buildings have awnings and pipes that just shoot out and will basically shoot water onto the street when it's raining out. And you have like these spouts that just shoot out from the sidewalk, across the sidewalk onto the street. And you'll see this in the video when it posts tonight. There was a guy who parked his pickup truck on like the sidewalk illegally, and it was like kind of tilted. And as I was walking up, it looked kind of weird from a distance. And I got up to it, and basically the entire bed of his pickup truck was filled with water, but he was like on a little bit of an angle, and it was just spilling out everywhere, but it was literally filled all the way to the top with water. The strangest thing I'd seen. I felt like the truck could have tipped over. There was so much weight in the bed from all that water. But in like every soy just has like a little bit of flooding. Our soy, our yak, I should say, not our soy, but our yak at the start had about 20 centimeters of water, but where we live only has about 4. So not too bad.
Not bad.
Yeah. Jeff hasn't tried the lemonade Twinkies. He doesn't have the nerve. All good in Texas, out of the blizzard and soon into the hot season. Nice. Chocolate Twinkies. Yeah, I could see that being a thing. Now you're still on point to come in 2 weeks. So Patrick, 2 weeks? It'll put you in the time frame. All ASQ is now 14 days now, so there's no more 7-day ASQ with the vaccine. I don't know if you knew that already, but they basically said anyone who comes after the 6th, I believe, has a full 14-day ASQ. So just so you're aware, man, I don't know if you knew that or not, but that was announced by the government yesterday.
Just announced?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah. Because everything that new start today,
Yeah,
May 1st.
I guess today they're also making some foreign national announcements about foreign nationals. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they said yesterday they would have announcements about foreign nationals today. I don't know if that includes me as an immigrant or if that's just about people traveling here, so we'll find out. Has Jib ever tried a funny bone? Not that I know. What's a funny bone?
What is that?
Is that a candy bar? Todd's funny bones. So apparently it's something good. Senior, don't blame me for your success. Hey, I'm just saying, man, you're the one who like, hey, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. But I'm just telling you could. And I was like, yeah, right? No point to be lazy. I threw on the Tevas and some sports shorts and went out there. And it was good. It was fun. It's funny because I always think like when I walk into the rain, like growing up in New England, it's gonna be cold, right? And I walked out into the rain and it's like it hits you and it's warmer than it was where you were inside. So it kind of always feels like you're in a shower.
Free shower.
Oh, funny bone. Yeah, peanut butter cupcakes. Yeah. So it's like a peanut butter thing. Yeah.
And why is funny bone?
It's like a peanut butter cupcake type of thing.
It's a cupcake. Why is like has a word bone?
I don't know. It's just
so like with the word bone, I feel like it can be like a dog snack.
No. It's just funny bone. Funny bone's like you hit this bone. It's like it tingles.
Oh,
you guys may see the shirt. This is Next Level Adventures. This is my buddy Patty Doyle's shirt. So Patty, you guys know, is down south at the moment, and he just left Hat Yai, and I think he's in Koh Lanta as well. Is where he ended up stopping. He's gonna kind of hunker down there for a week and see what the situation is. He just posted a video the other day, so. But definitely, if you haven't seen Patty's channel, I would definitely say check it out because he's got some cool stuff going on. He's trying to hit every province in Thailand on his little Honda Dream. That's like 12 years old. Yeah, so peanut butter filled cupcakes, Twinkies covered in chocolate with peanut butter. Oh, that's what Joe says they are. Okay. Abba Zaba candy bar, white taffy outside. What? I have never heard of this, Craig. Abba Zaba? Abba Zaba. You know what I think the worst candy bar is Payday. There's like no chocolate on it. It's nougat with peanuts, salted peanuts on the outside. It feels offensive. Peanut? It feels offensive to me. The Payday. Like whoever decided to make that was just trying to troll America.
It's candy bar, why it's salty?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Okay, so you are aware. Okay, Patrick. Glad. Some of my friends who were planning the trip didn't know yet. So I was telling people the other day. So glad you're up on it. But yeah, glad you're gonna make it out here too, man. It'll be cool to meet up when you're in the big mango.
But you cannot eat outside together.
Craig said it was 105 today. It's like 40 degrees, over 40.
Huh? Where is he?
Cali, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, Jess, yeah, Patty has a great channel. Patty has a phenomenal channel. He just passed 1 million views. He's only had his channel for a few months. He's almost at 20,000 subscribers if he's not there already. Yeah, he's been doing some great content, man. I can't wait for him to be in Bangkok. We had some plans. I told him he could crash here when he gets here until he finds an Airbnb he likes. But his plan may change now because originally he was planning to spend the entire rainy season in Bangkok and then probably head down on excursions down the eastern coast of the Gulf. Now with him taking a week in Koh Lanta, I think Koh Lanta is where he's at. I don't know like what his overall plan is going to be. We'll see. Patrick says the Thai embassy is good about letting you know. Nice. That's awesome, man. Hey, you might be getting updates before us. See, Abba Zaba's been around for easily 50. I don't even remember this Abba Zaba. I don't even have recollections of this candy bar.
Maybe they don't have it in your city.
They have chocolate. Yeah, chocolate covered Payday is a Babe Ruth, right? That's what but I mean the Payday itself is just kind of like it's an offensive candy bar, but the Babe Ruth is good. Made a house with Paydays as a kid for class. Yeah, they look like logs. Made a log cabin. So, but I mean, the chocolate covered Payday is just a Babe Ruth, right? That's all that is. The Payday. He's in the Desert Hot Springs. Nice. Jeff Glassman, where are you from? Well, I live in Bangkok. Well, originally East Coaster, from Rhode Island, New England. How you doing? I was just watching this video on Wired about like accents from all over the U.S. And when they started out, they were talking about New England accents and talked about like the difference between the Boston and the Rhode Island accent. That they're both rhotic, non-rhotic, with no Oz. Oz. All right, Todd, have a good one, man. Enjoy the beach. Ring dings. I think there's some ring dings in that. There's some ring dings in the package from Frank as well, which are little chocolate cream-filled cakes. No, Payday came out for a bit. It didn't last long. Oh, because they were like, yeah, that Babe Ruth's not a bad candy bar. Three Musketeers, way too much chocolate. Yeah, I remember as a kid, Three Musketeers were more dense, and then they became like a fluffy interior, like a little bit softer. But yeah, it's like chocolate mousse covered in chocolate. The Three Musketeer. Milky Way, Mars bar.
Too many chocolate in your country.
Yeah, we have unlimited. There's like whole aisles of just chocolate bars.
We have that too. Well, I think
Like, you know how you go to 7-Eleven here? There's a whole aisle of Mama.
Yeah.
Like a whole aisle of instant noodle.
Okay.
You go into a 7-Eleven in the US, there'll be a whole aisle of just chocolate bars.
Okay.
Jim's face. She's in shock.
Huh.
The zero. I remember the zero, but I don't remember what it was. I remember the packaging. And Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Milky Way is good. Have I heard of the $100,000 bar? No.
What is that?
I've not heard of that.
A gold bar?
Oh, Frank says those are ding dongs in the bag. No ho-hos. Ding dongs. Oh, classic reference to Caddyshack. Just put a Babe Ruth in the pool and see what happens. Classic comedy movie with Bill Murray and Rodney Dangerfield, Caddyshack. There's a gag with Baby Ruth. Yeah, I saw the oatmeal cream pies, Frank. Those will be, I'm sure Jib will like those. Like really soft, like fatty oatmeal cookies with cream in the middle.
Sounds good.
And we got like a candy bar history lesson going on today.
Oh.
Abba Zaba started in 1922. Look up a pic of the label, you'll remember it. All right, let's check this out.
1922, when you graduate high school.
No, when you graduated elementary. Eek. I don't remember that, Steve. I'm looking at it. I have never seen that before. That yellow label I've never seen. Yellow and black checker. No, it almost looks like the photo up here. It almost looks like a dumpling or something, like that white exterior.
It looks like tang mei.
Which stream out? This stream out. I thought I lost it. Sugar daddies destroyed my teeth. So I remember once I was eating a sugar daddy and I pulled the filling out.
Ow.
Patrick, I agree with you. Twix is the king. Twix is the king. You know, the perfect ratio on Twix. The cookie, the caramel, the chocolate. That was ingenuity. And that's in 2 pieces. Moon pies, says Jeff. Yeah, moon pies are good. Actually, I was trying to think of one when Frank was in the States. I was like, oh, it was like a little Debbie thing, but it was like Rice Krispies, caramel, and chocolate. It was like Star Crunch. They were called Star Crunch, and those were amazing as well. The Star Crunch. Joe says sugar coma Jib is coming.
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. So there'll be a lot of shorts of Jib trying.
We should stock insulin.
Perhaps it was regional. Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing it, but you guys apparently know it, so it's obviously something that's common. Yeah, Jeff never seen it either, so maybe it is just a Bay Area thing. Left or right? Yeah, they started producing the left and right Twix. That was like a gag like 10 years ago, and they just kind of kept with it. Oh yeah, green apple caramel pops. I remember those. Yeah, the other one was Milk Duds. Milk Duds will destroy your teeth as well.
So you chew it?
The Milk Duds, yeah, you chew it. It's like a chocolate covered caramel.
Okay.
I think there's Milk Duds in the.
So you don't have to chew it, and you just like let it melt in your mouth.
No, because the caramel you're supposed to chew.
I don't chew.
Yeah, actually, if you guys saw the ice cream short that we posted yesterday. Jib doesn't even want to bite the frozen popsicle. I'll bring when I would travel to Malaysia for my show, I would go down to Malaysia, or when I was reffing fights down there, and I would go down. I'd always buy candy coming back through duty free, and I would buy usually some dark chocolate and bring it back, something that I knew I couldn't get here in Bangkok. And Jib would always just break a square off and let it melt in her mouth, and it just seems like a waste.
What waste?
You chew it and devour it.
No.
Yodels. Yodels were those like round and had cream in the middle, almost like a strudel pie, Jeff? Is that what a yodel was? I remember the name. Left, hands down. Nice. Wait, wasabi Twix? That does not sound appealing, Craig. Wasabi Twix.
Spicy then.
However, I mean, if you Kit Kat, like I saw Frank put a key lime Kit Kat in Jib's bag, but also in Japan, they always have matcha Kit Kat.
Mm-hmm. We have it here too.
Oh yeah, sugar babies. Those are little teeth destroyers as well. Little landmines for your fillings. Yeah, they basically create like a perfect vacuum and just pull out your dental work. Oh, Raisinets. Yeah, chocolate covered raisins. Those are good. So who was talking about? I think it was Eric was talking to me about putting Raisinets in his popcorn at the movies and like dumping the Raisinets into the popcorn. Just like no. So I was actually before we came live, I was showing Jib the script I've got going on for the chair, the movie chairs that you see behind me, and doing a video about Scala. But I remember that Scala had some of like the American candies in the concession. A brownie filled Snickers. Oh. Joe's got it right though. They just deep fry it all, covered in batter, deep fry it. I was. Jib's face. I was trying to explain to Jib the other day about like going to the county fair or going to the state fair, and you go to the fair and they basically will deep fry anything. Funnel cake, deep fried butter, like wontons. No. So I was trying to explain to her deep fried butter. She's like, well, doesn't it melt? I was like, yeah, but they put it in like, they freeze the chunk of butter and then they put it in like a wonton wrapper and then they batter that and they deep fry it. And she was like, the fuck is wrong with America? We
have a deep fried wonton, but it's like filled with the ground pork.
Yeah.
Seasoning ground pork. So it's good flavor, but I don't understand fried butter.
Actually, they have a cake they call a funnel cake where they put it in a metal funnel. They ladle the batter in. They just hold it over a vat of hot oil.
Yeah.
And they just make circles with it, and it just deep fries the cake, and they flip it brown on the other side.
Ba thong ko ngay.
What?
Ba thong ko.
Is that what you call?
No.
Ba
thong ko is a fried dough ngay.
Oh, the
quite
round.
Similar.
Yeah, so it's similar to fried dough, but funnel cake is sweeter than fried dough.
Oh, okay.
Fried dough in America, well, at least where I grew up in the East Coast, we called doughboys. I had never seen it called fried dough until I moved to the Midwest.
My fried dough here, ba thong ko ngay, the one come with like pear.
Oh, yeah.
Ba thong ko.
Oh, yeah. It's similar, I mean, in texture. The other one, so did you guys ever see, what did you guys call fried dough growing up? Because in Rhode Island, we always called it fried dough. But then I remember when I lived in Ohio, they called it elephant ears as well, which I thought was strange. Fried butter is a heart attack awaiting you. Yeah, right? Actually, I remember at the fair in Wisconsin, the fried cheese, when they would do the fried cheese, and they always have like fresh cheese curds and old cheese curds. So, Jeff, I lived in, so I did undergrad in Kansas, Western Kansas. I lived in Ohio and graduate school in Wisconsin. It was all donut. Oh, donut was different. Yeah, so Patrick said, so he says, the first just says hot sauce, deep fried pickles. So, yeah, deep fried pickles are kind of a weird.
Pickle.
Yeah, they batter them and then they fry them.
So, like pickled cucumber?
Yeah. It's like little chips.
And why you need deep fry? You can eat it like that.
Yeah. No, it's just to add fat and flavor. Patrick says elephant ears growing up. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I only saw them as elephant ears when I lived in Ohio.
What is that, elephant ear?
That's what they call the fried dough because it's like a big flat piece of dough.
So is it like roti?
Yeah, like American version of roti except deep fried.
Okay.
Yeah, turkey legs as big as your head. Yeah, that's the other thing. They serve like big turkey legs, and people like eat it off the smoked turkey legs.
Oh.
So what do you call? So it depends on the type of clam, Steve. Oddly enough. So the clam is, we have regular clams are just clams, and we have little necks, cherry stones, and then there's a big type of clam we have in Rhode Island called quahog, and then you can also get stuffed quahogs, which is like the quahog split open, halved, and they grind it. You chop up the quahog meat, the clam meat from inside, mix it with bread, usually some celery, a little bit of onion, and chorizo sausage. Stuff it back into the shell and bake it. Then you have a baked stuffed quahog. The little necks are the ones with the little neck popping out. You steam those, dip them in butter. Get clam chowder. Clam chowder.
What's that?
The cream like chowder.
Huh.
It's like a cream soup with clams and potatoes and celery. I'm in Indiana in the Army in Kansas. Okay. Where in Kansas we're in the Army, Jeff? I went to Fort Hays State out in western Kansas. You know, I never went to the Midwest when I was in the Army. I was on one of the two coasts the whole time. But yeah, Fort Hays State, middle of nowhere, western Kansas. Would have to fly to Colorado and drive into Kansas. Joe just calls the fried dough a good time. A good time. Now I'm hungry. All right, Fort Riley. Yeah, cool. I know the name. I've never been to the base though. Where are you stationed? Most of the time, I was at Fort Bragg. I was based out of Fort Bragg, Patrick, and then I spent a year at DLI. In California, out in Monterey. Good old times. Actually, one of my old Army buddies is actually moving to Thailand. He's marrying a Thai girl who just finished her MBA out in Boston, and so they're moving here. And so I'm excited for my boy Kendrick to be out here. We were in AIT together at SWIC, and then he ended up becoming an instructor later on. They spent like a long time in, but yeah, he's they're moving out here, so I'm excited to have Kendrick out here. We'll get into some mischief together, especially because I think his wife, his fiance, is a business consultant, management consultant, so I'm sure she'll be crazy busy and like never home. So Kendrick will be looking for trouble to get into, which will be a good thing.
Drop him in a cowboy.
What's that?
Drop him a soy cowboy.
No, I don't think he's into that either. So it's okay. Like we'll just find like legit nerdy things to do and get in trouble with. It's funny because Kendrick's Chinese, so I'm sure everyone will start talking Thai to him. Like
right. Yes.
Well, Kendrick's American. His parents are Chinese.
So of course everyone here will speak Thai to him.
Conch everything when I lived in Bahamas. Conch. I've never had conch. It's good. Patrick said lived at Bragg growing up, stationed at Lewis. Oh, nice. Yeah, Bragg I think it's the biggest base by population, if I'm not mistaken. It's like a city. Fayetteville's a horrible place. A horrible place. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. A lot of people did a lot more than me. So for me, I was just there going through the motions. But a lot of people gave quite a bit. So it was a good time in my life, though. Nothing good happened when I get together with my Army, right?
Really?
It's funny because Kendrick and I were really close. Like I said, we're at Bragg together, went through training there, and then we were on the same team. And Kendrick went to Iraq, and I went to language school, and we just kind of like drifted apart at that point. Obviously you get closer to the people you deploy with, and I was away for a while in AIT, not in AIT, in DLI and doing some other stuff. So like we reconnected, and like it'll just be cool to have them around because we were really, really tight for a long time. So it'll be fun. Brought Hershey bars and BKK definitely taste different. Really? Chalky. I know. So this is a funny thing. So I don't know
how it's different taste when it's the same brand.
He says it's chalkier here.
What's a shoki?
Try like dry, maybe a calcium like. I know a lot of guys who I know a lot of guys from England who hate Hershey. They say it tastes like vomit is what British people describe it as. Like because Hershey is the milk sort of sours during the process of making it, from my understanding. And whereas to me, I always thought British chocolate tasted like way too milky. So it's a little weird.
Hershey is the one that makes like drop like.
Yeah, Hershey Kisses or the Hershey bar. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like.
Yes, British people have the issue with it. It's weird to me. But yeah, I haven't eaten a Hershey bar in decades maybe.
You cannot.
Oh, Joe says to take Kendrick camera shopping. Just I think he meant just don't tell Jib. Yeah, no, like if Jib knows real trouble is if I'm like, I'm gonna go to Fortune Town. Fortune Town's still open with the lockdown? I'm like, I know Frank was gonna comment. I'll get to that. Conch is just another big clam. Dropped in meat and boiling water for a minute. Throw in some hot pepper, lemon, chop it up. 3 beers. Later you go. Huh. Later
3 beers? Like
it's huge, right? They're like really big, like the conch shell. I know I've had before it was like a big thing. I had what they call geoduck or gooey duck. The big long clam. I had that like years and years ago. I had it out on the West Coast. It's
weird looking.
Yeah. But I had that out on the West Coast. It's just like a big chewy clam. A lot of flavor to it.
Looks like.
Jeff says, I worked in Iraq 4.5 years. Nice. Where in Iraq did you work? Yeah. Exactly. Nice. What'd you do as a civilian, Jeff? In Iraq? A lot of imported candy here is European. I think the manufacturer is internationally brand for the local market. Okay. Maybe. Her says they changed the taste and texture to fit local taste. Also, if they
okay.
Well, I imagine there's not really a ton. I don't think there's any milk production in Thailand.
Milk production?
Yeah.
Like a cow milk farm?
Like dairy farms, yeah.
We have many.
Really?
Yes, the King Rama IX started a farm in his palace.
Oh, in the palace.
Because long ago, Thais are very short and not really drink milk, cow milk. So like staple meal would be like just rice and chili paste and the soup, like easy, like lots of vegetable. You don't really drink cow milk. So he tried to promote like for nutrition, and he make like the milk tablet, that one, to spread around for the area that not easy for logistic for the fresh milk.
But Joe is surprised that you like chocolate.
I like, but I won't eat a lot.
See, Frank knows what's up. Camera shopping is the correct answer to list questions. I was looking at Frank's new cinema camera yesterday. I was
no.
Oh, most questions. He means most questions. And so we're joking about Frank has a new camera. It has a mount to mount the camera vertical, so you can shoot like Instagram or TikTok stories with a full frame cinema camera.
Why you need it? Just use your cell phone.
Yeah, well, I mean that's kind of the question. I mean, if you want that really smooth bokeh background, like ultra creamy.
Is it very important?
Hey, what's going on, man? How are things up in Chiang Mai? You guys are also a red zone, so I'm curious. Red. Yeah, I'm curious to just like how you do. I know you said you live in a like a community like outside the city. So how's that going? But yeah, camera shopping always the correct answer. But I feel I'm pretty satisfied with my ZV.
Is that like a shopping therapy for men?
Maybe. Lens are the dangerous things, right? You get the body. You only need one body, but you could have countless lenses. Rural welfare and recreation. Oh, that's Sounds interesting.
Recreation. Oh.
A giant conch and just conch, kind of all medium, small. Okay. Bearded. Oh, Joe. Joe. Yeah, cashew milk is good. Actually, my daily, if I have like oatmeal every day, I have it usually with walnut milk is my preferred. I like the kind of something about the flavor to it. I like cashew milk is, if I'm going to make a dessert though, I use cashew milk. It's very kind of fatty and like has a good mouthfeel. I no more own than milk. Yes, okay. All right. So just being yeah, same with us here. We're just being careful. Hanging out, taking precautions in Bangkok. I'm sure you guys doing the same thing in Chiang Mai. Just common sense. And I say common sense, but I may be overestimating some people. So listening to government guidelines, but also not putting ourselves at an unneeded risk because some people may not have common sense.
Correct.
So yeah, we are avoiding contact with certain people and with certain groups, not going out to like massive places. So food choice unlimited. We're kind of lucky. Like we can still order out, but for the most part,
I think because of we're in Bangkok.
Yeah, our street food options
like
are pretty much the same.
Lots of delivery.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not going to sit down at Pala, but I can always get delivery from there if I want. Can you explain how you milk a walnut or milk a cashew? I'm interested to know how. You got to find the nipples, Dave. That's the hardest part. You find those cashew nipples, and then you go to work on them. A lot of tiny fingers. They mostly ship the nuts to the Philippines where they have tiny fingers and they...
Dirty old man.
Am I wearing Liberty overalls? They're not Liberty, but these are... I think I got these from a Chinese manufacturer, but yeah. Because I've got to repair the crotch on my... I've got to darn the crotch on my favorite shorts that I usually wear. And so I want to make actually a video about doing the visible mending and repairing the crotch. But I have to do that this weekend so I can get back to wearing those. So I've got the overalls until those are done. Because I don't like to wear belts. So that's why I always wear suspenders or something like this. I'm a big fan of not having to wear a belt.
You can't wear a belt.
I could wear a belt. I just don't like to. And I like to wear high waist. So the suspenders are much better with a high-waisted cut. You said breaded. Oh, okay. Did he? I gotta go back. Oh, yeah, he did say breaded. That's my dirty mind. Craig, good catch. I would have been, it's funny that Joe did not correct me, but you caught it. Oh, you see what I'm thinking about. Senior Frank, my new camera can see around corners as much as 90 minutes in the future with the right lenses. Yeah, you get the right lens with that speed booster too. You might even be able to get like 3 hours in the future. Who knows? 6 foot rule, everyone. Yeah, 2 meters. There's a great TikTok. This guy, the Canadian guy who I follow, made a TikTok. He's like, "What's wrong with Americans? Why don't you like metric?" He's like, "You'll measure things in anything but metric." He's like, "Stop trying to convert bald eagles to Big Macs."
Funny.
Patches, I've cut out dairy and red meat. Definitely feel better. Nice, man. Dairy is the big thing for me. When I stopped eating dairy, just because, again, I've talked about like I'm incredibly lactose intolerant. And so when I stopped eating dairy, my body felt so much better. I haven't eaten red meat in 20 years, maybe more now, since the 90s, 99. So 22 years I haven't eaten red meat or pork. But I used to eat a lot of chicken and fish for a little while, kind of like a couple year span. But I ate a lot of dairy for years and years and eggs. And cutting out the dairy, anything milk-based, just my body felt so much better. And even now, Jib knows if I eat any dairy, I'm in pain. Actually, I have a funny. We just did the ice cream video, the vegan ice cream. It was actually sorbet, but I have a funny ice cream story from when Jib and I first started to date. So, when Jib and I first started to date, we went to the Ranksit floating market, which is just a series of barges in the middle of the Klong in Ranksit. And we had like a boat noodles, and they had like a vegan soup option for me. So we had that. And afterwards, they were like, for dessert, they're like, oh, we have traditional Thai ice cream. And Jib asked them, is it jade? Is it really made with coconut milk? And they're like, yeah, it's a traditional recipe. There's no milk in it. And when I tasted it, I was like, I really think this tastes super milky. If this is just coconut milk, it's really close to like milk. And Jib's like, no, they said it's a traditional recipe, so it came from local place, so it's 100% coconut milk. And we were driving back on my scooter, and I knew like 10 minutes into the trip back to my apartment that I was sick, and I had eaten some dairy. By the time we got back to my place, I couldn't even stand up. I was keeled over in pain. Jib felt horrible. She went out and got me carbon and some other digestive aids. But like Jib was like crying. She felt so bad because I was in so much pain. I couldn't even stand. And that was my apartment. Luckily, my bathroom was outside. I had this crappy apartment at the time. And my bathroom was on the patio. It was weird. But yeah, it was not good. So I know instantly if I eat any dairy that I am in a bad place. So even now, like if I eat something that has milk powder in it, and Jib is always super cautious. She'll catch stuff for me.
Because you don't read label.
I look at the label, and if it doesn't say contains milk, I'm always like, okay. And Jib will be like, no, milk powder away.
Yeah.
Lactose, all these things. I'm like, okay. And basically milk powder is pure lactose, so it just like tears through you. And which is funny, a lot of potato chips have milk powder in the seasoning. So as most potato chips like are not safe for me to eat. And so if I can't read the label, my vision isn't good enough to see the tiny ass print, or it's not in English, I just don't eat it.
But you order it.
Yeah. Sometimes.
And left for me.
Yeah, left for I ordered potato chips that I couldn't see the label on Villa's online site, and they were Scotch bonnet flavored potato chips, which I really wanted to try. And Jib was like, no, it's got lactose, whey, and milk powder, all as separate ingredients. We've got people cooking. Oh, nice. That's kind of cool on the Line app. That is cool. That street food, that is awesome. Street food prices delivered. That's nice. Sorry about that. I removed it. No. I think I thought you said bearded Joe, but you actually said breaded. And so Craig was correcting me. I assumed it said beard. Or maybe you meant bearded. You accidentally wrote breaded. John Poe says, folks don't understand big fellas have our own style. Damn right. Gotta have that. I like the high waist. I like the suspenders. A little bit of swag. Well, we have been talking clams, haven't we? Yeah. Couldn't live without. Growing up on the East Coast, and seafood was a big part of our diet. Fish, lobster, obviously.
Seafood here, you need the seafood sauce.
Yeah, the green seafood sauce that they serve with seafood are quite good. Like a Thai seafood sauce, quite nice. Know about MMA, Mexican martial arts. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a dad joke. Tell me, Joe. Tell me.
Mexican martial art?
I think he's like making a joke. We'll see what he says.
Okay.
I remember there used to be a joke about like Mexican judo. You don't know if I have a knife. You don't know if I have a gun. Jim's like, what? Looking forward to be less of a carnivore. Yeah, I would say definitely there's a lot more meat in America in the diet that you just have to in general than in Thailand. Thailand is much more balanced dietary wise, I would say, as far as like the amount of meat you eat with vegetables.
We don't eat like big meat, but we have like some in all dishes.
Jib always gets mad if I want to mix my vegetables in the stir fry. Like last night, she was like, "Oh, do you want stir fried mushrooms or stir fried kale?" I was like, "Well, can we just put mushrooms and kale together?" And she was like, all upset. She's like, "No, can't do that. That's not right." Oh,
Kale is kale.
Actually, let me throw this out there. So there's a food channel that I watch quite a bit on YouTube, but Adam Ragusa, one of the best. I think he's the best home cook channel in general. He's very fun to watch. He has very to the point videos. He made a video about pad thai, and I sent it to Jib.
That one?
Yeah, the most recent one I sent you. And Jim was freaking out because he used ketchup in his pad thai sauce. But I was thinking
ketchup in pad thai.
Obviously. And he was saying that a lot of the recipes he saw call for tomato paste, which I've never seen people put tomato in pad thai.
No.
But I was thinking about it. In America, that makes sense. And when I think about like ketchup versus tomato paste, ketchup makes more sense than tomato paste because it's already sweet and it's already salty and it has vinegar, which adds a little bit more acidity, right? So they're flavors that would be more common to an American palate. Now, he still used fish sauce. He used regular white sugar, not palm sugar.
White sugar is okay.
Yeah?
So, did I send a video from a Thai guy who cooked?
Yeah.
He used a white sugar too.
Yeah.
Because I asked for, and she said the reason why not use palm sugar because of the tamarind flavor. It's very sour. So if you use a palm sugar, like the sweetness does not show out. Same as if you use a white sugar.
I love tamarind. I have tamarind candy. It's over on the other table, but they're called tamarind bombs. Yeah, and she has stayed with me ever since. Jib has been there through all my gastrointestinal woes since we met. Actually, one time recently we had food poisoning together. Like from something we ate, and we were both like hard. Jib never missed a day of school for the Royal Academy until we got this food poisoning. Neither of us could get out of bed. It was bad.
Happened.
We both ended up taking like carbon and then something else. Jib's mom was like, "Take this one drug to relax your intestines." Minority notice it sound like you got that COVID. No, my friend. I think have you been checked lately, Eric? I mean, I know you've been hanging around some seedy folks. Who knows? Who knows what you got? Had some serious sodium issues for a time. The same here. I could read the label, wouldn't eat. We'd eat it. Yeah, sodium. Actually, I tell you, I'm surprised more people don't have like too much sodium in their diet here in Thailand. Fish sauce is essentially sodium. Soy sauce is essentially sodium. And then I see them put salt and MSG on everything. Yeah, that's interesting.
Because we don't like drop rice into the dish. We just get like a side dish to the rice.
Yeah.
We eat different from you and the pour rice.
Jib does always correct me about making sure I don't put all the sauce onto my food and like let it absorb into the rice.
Yes.
I was just Patrick, absolutely, man. Eric is a great resource for anyone in general to travel, but in general, Eric has great travel content. And if you follow his Instagram, he has great working girl content. I'm just kidding. Horrible pizza content, though. Don't tell your friend not to listen to Eric about anything pizza. He has no idea what he's talking about. But travel-wise, definitely the man. And
why you have to fight about pizza?
Because Eric's wrong. There's no question about it. Eric has no idea about pizza. Travel, one of the most knowledgeable people I've ever met. Peaks for the freaks all day long. But actually, Eric, is your gym open? Because I remember they were trying to get themselves classified as an outdoor gym last time because of the way but they have a door even though it's all open. So I'd be interested to know if they're able to stay open right now. Joe says, I was watching MMA on YouTube. I found it there. Okay. Oh, It's called spaghetti. Oh yeah, the Mexican. Until the last decade, so soy sauce was about as deep as you could go into Asian product. Yeah, true. Ketchup as a substitute, not so crazy. Yeah, it's true. Like even like there was an Asian market in Providence where I grew up, but it was mostly Chinese ingredients until like maybe I was like in high school. Then there was like a Cambodian shop, and they would import a lot of Thai stuff because it was similar. And then there was like a Vietnamese shop, so you start to see a lot more of those ingredients floating around. Like Vietnamese sausage was very easy to find in like the 2000s.
Okay.
When I was old in my 20s, or like Thai, like you would see like a Lucky Boy brand in the U.S.
Lucky Boy.
Chai crap.
Healthy Boy.
Healthy Boy. Healthy Boy. With like I would always be able to get those. I was always able to get that mushroom soy sauce because like all the shops, it's easy for them to import. Whereas like you're not going to see as much Lao or Cambodian stuff because it's not as voluminous.
Okay.
Yeah. Almost died in Bang Sir from fish poisoning. Out for the
Bang San, mate.
Bang San. Oh yeah, fish will get you, man. Fish will get, especially if you start eating that freshwater fish.
Bang San is a sea. It's a beach.
But I'm saying, like, if you have bad freshwater fish, you're really in trouble. You get parasite pills and.
Oh, if you cook, it's okay.
If you go to Isan, and they like to just ferment stuff and get it. Like there's a sausage in Isan that is like fermented fish and pork blended together, and they just leave it out in the sun, and then they like throw it on the grill for like their idea of cooking is like 1, 2, flip it, 1, 2, done.
Fine.
Fine. Jib's like, fine. Jib will be like, this is what happens with Jib, guys. She'll tell me, she's like, oh, the government just issued a warning to not eat kanom jin because they all have like unhealthy preservatives in it, so don't eat it. I'm like, okay, fair enough. The very next day, what do I see Jib get from the market? Something with kanom jin. I'm like, you told me not to eat that. She's like, oh, I'm Thai. Like the warning wasn't just for Farang.
I can tolerate that.
And I said, no, we all went to Pattaya because the gyms were open. Now they closed everything as of today, so we're back.
Yeah, because Chonburi, Pattaya is in Chonburi, and that's the rate.
Ah. So and the parks are closed, right? So you can't even go to the park and work out. That sucks.
So maybe Eric, you try yoga at home.
Yeah, try yoga. Yeah, try yoga, Eric. I found a great teriyaki sauce with garlic. Oh, I like teriyaki sauce. It's a nice flavor.
But you don't eat chicken.
You can eat teriyaki on vegetable. Any updates from Patty? I am rocking Patty's shirt, though. No, I'll talk to Patty today, probably. I know he's hunkered down for about a week. He was supposed to make it out to Bangkok for the rainy season, but I imagine he's going to be behind schedule at this point. So we'll see what happens. Any secret aardvark left? I have a little bit left. Mostly that black bean is left, but yeah, I have a little bit of the secret aardvark left. That's really good. Only a little bit of the Dr. Aspirin as well. That one is really good, Joe. That Dr. Aspirin is nice and spicy and very vinegary, which I like. Oh, don't worry. I'll have my home workout. Yeah, I'm sure. Working on that cardio and those hip flexors, right, Eric? Make sure you wear a mask. Oh. Yeah, I think there's, with everything closing, hopefully, my hope is that we go a month to a month and a half. And if the numbers continue to drop down, they start to slowly open stuff up. Actually, damn right. I think a month and a half, things will start to slowly open up. I imagine parks will be the first thing to open as the numbers drop. And then after that, I would imagine that museums, cafes, restaurants.
Yeah, I think they will try to like reopen as soon as possible.
Yeah.
But like as now we have lots of number of patients in the hospital so they try to drop the number like quick.
I think the big thing is once they revisit the hospitalization policy as well, like not everyone has to check in or like you have to isolate, and they can alleviate some of the critical capacity. I think that will allow them to get a better gauge of things. I think a lot of this happened because they saw the hospitals hitting capacity, and that's a concern.
So now like the stadium at MBK, they turned it to the field hospital.
Yeah, they did that before too. It was a field hospital, and
when?
then the first time they had designated that as a field hospital. They brought tents in, but I don't think they used it. And then I remember that they turned that into a camp for the coronation or for the funeral when of 9. They turned that into like a campsite for people who want to come from out of province. Yeah, I agree. 6 weeks, probably 6 weeks. Yeah, if the numbers continue to drop, hopefully 4 or 5 weeks.
So I think for the thing that announced like that start today, they will run it for 14 days and they will like reevaluate.
Yeah. I think parks will be the first thing to open, in my opinion. Yeah. Thai people are already hungry. They're not giving assistance. Yeah. I mean, there's some people who are definitely suffering. There's some people who are, one of the good things about Thai people, though, they're very, they have a lot of ingenuity. And so you've seen a lot of people shift to like online sales or doing some other things and making ends meet. Jib's friend who works for Thai Airways was selling at one point dried pork and then she sold everything at this point. And she still have a job at Thai Airways or
maybe not a good pay for now.
Yeah, but they were paying her like part of her salary for a while, right?
Yes.
And I remember you were saying it was like the one time she was making more than like the flight attendants because it was like base salary, not special pay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like some companies have taken care of people, man. A lot of companies have stepped up. A lot of companies have not. I mean, it is what it is. Jeff saying, I think they'll open Phuket first, then everywhere else. Phuket's still on track for the whole sandbox thing. I mean, they're pushing for the vaccination. If they can reach 100% and think that they'll have herd immunity, that's probably the country's best bet to get some tourism dollars.
I think Samui Island, they vaccinate most of people there.
Yeah, Samui as well. Almost everyone, yeah.
I have a friend who's a pharmacist there.
Yeah.
She's like work at like this vaccine center there.
Yeah.
Like help,
Where'd you go, Eric? Back to the States? Somewhere else? Somewhere else in Asia? I know my boy Raw Dog Eddie, who lives out in Vietnam, he was telling me that they got like a few cases and they just went into full lockdown in the city. So he's all upset. He can't get his delivery daily. So, Jeff, all right, I'm out of whiskey. Time for bed. All right, man, have a good one. What were you sipping tonight before you go? What was in the glass? I've got some Russell Reserve, and I got some Bullet in the cabinet at the moment. You got to go out to buy alcohol now. You can't get delivery, so I'm a little too lazy to go out just to buy whiskey. So I've just got what I've got. I wouldn't mind to get some gin too. Have some gin and tonics. Last night when Jib's mom was here a few weeks ago, I mixed her up a little bit of Bullet with some ginger beer, make a little spicy drink, a little bit of salt on it as well, and she really liked that. She drank that like almost passed out. States and Europe basically back to work. These lockdowns in Thailand mean I can't work or enjoy being home. Yeah, that's true, right? I mean, if it's a money issue. South America seems to be, I have a couple friends who are in Colombia and Mexico at the moment. Seem to be pretty open for Americans to travel. Yeah, we can go out. I just can't. It's illegal to do alcohol delivery now. They passed a law where, because there's an age verification issue, so they can't do delivery. So I used to just order whiskey from Villa or wine from Villa and get delivery, and now that's not an option. That's all I'm saying. So I'm too lazy to go to Villa and find the bourbons I want. I used to be able to just get a bottle of Buffalo Trace or whatever, Woodford delivered. And now I'm like, the only place I can get the bourbon I like is Villa or that alcohol market at Central World. And both of which I'm like, no, I'm okay. I don't need it. I've got enough to, I hardly drink. So it's not like I drink every week even. I mean, it's probably been what, like
once a month?
Not even since I drank bourbon. Like I think, I had a little bit when your mom was here, right? I poured a little bit for myself, but yeah, like I don't drink that often. Or if we drink, like Jib and I will drink the Centauri Japanese drink. Yeah. Oh, Canadian Mist, nice. Yeah, it's an age verification thing, Eric. I think they're working on some type of online age verification thing, but like I get it. Like literally, like obviously no one's gonna check my ID, but like there's no question. Like whatever the minimum age is here, I don't even know. But like, there's no question for me. But I'm sure the guy delivering for Villa doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, sign here, get your stuff. Central Market at People's Park. Yeah, so I mean, there's a few spots I can go to, but not a lot of places carry like higher end bourbons. Almost everyone will have the Jim Beam, the Benchmark 8, like all the
Johnny Walker,
like the lower end stuff. But like if you want really good bourbon, you got to go to Villa, something like that, or like the I forget the name of the place at Central World, but actually their selection's phenomenal. They have all types of niche stuff sometimes.
Where?
Yeah, the peach one, Eric, the peach Centauri drink. So it tastes like a peach. Like it's 3% alcohol, but it tastes like it's just like a peach. Like you're drinking a peach. It's so good. Remember the Central World alcohol shop inside the Gourmet Market?
Central World doesn't have gourmet.
What was it? Was that Paragon then?
Are you sure it's not Emporium?
Maybe Emporium, but it's like the really niche alcohol shop.
There's a alcohol shop in the Emporium on the top floor before you go to our AC.
Yeah.
Like a design center. Mm-hmm. That one. That's a
Oh
Emporium.
yeah, that's right. They have that one too. Yeah, when I do, if I have one too many, like I'm a lightweight. I can't deny that. So one too many, and I'm in rough shape. What's Jib's drink of choice? I would say probably that Centauri. Or right now you like that the plum sake.
Oh, umeshu.
Yeah, that Centauri peach is. Yeah, even actually it legit tastes like a peach. Dude, it is. It's like.
Did you try the grape one?
Yeah, the grape one's pretty good too, but the peach one is like
it's a peach.
Yeah. 7-Eleven has it, Eric. Yeah, you pick it up at 7-Eleven. It's like 50 baht. You're drinking a peach. It's out of this world. It's insane. Yeah. However they do it, it makes no sense to me that it can taste like a fresh peach in this can. So good.
Eric, do you like umeshu?
Is that the wine? The rice wine?
It's not. I don't know. It's a umeshu. It's a liquor that has a plum flavor.
What percent alcohol is it?
ไม่ใช่
It tastes like prunes, actually. I like it's like an alcohol prune juice. It's nice. Yeah, it is. That's the peach one is at 7-Eleven. Grape, that's racist.
What?
The grape was. We have a can in the fridge right now.
Why?
It's really. He's joking because
it's good too.
Grape soda in America. Context, Eric. Context. Always been a lightweight with spirits, but I've developed a taste for Fireball of all things, Steve. Fireball Fireball is like a horrible whiskey to start with, and it tastes like just that cinnamon flavors. Actually, the cinnamon doesn't bother me as much as the sugar they add to make it sweet. However, I will say it does blend nice in a few different drinks. But Fireball is like too sweet for my liking. It's not a sipping whiskey. It's crazy expensive here, like way more than it should be in Thailand, as all whiskey is. But Fireball especially, I can't see paying the price they asked for it. Too much Jaeger put me in the urgent care. Oh my! Actually, one time I remember I was drinking Jim Beam at a friend's bachelor party, and I drank way too much and just passed out and vomited. Like I remember I fell asleep like face down. I remember waking up while I was vomiting, and then going back to sleep. Too much Jim Beam and Coke. Oh God, Eric, God, 19-year-old frat. No, Fireball's it's. I don't even know what type of whiskey they use for like the base of that, because it's just gonna be like some type of like random mash, like wheat, corn, like whatever they can get, like a good mix of, and then they mix it with, after it's been, I don't even know if they age it or they just add color, but they add all that sugar and cinnamon flavor to it and make it taste like candy. I remember when I was in.
Is it sweet?
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Easy to get drunk then.
So, but it's like very cinnamon.
Cinnamon won't help about drunk.
No, but I mean, it's like when you drink it, it tastes like cinnamon candy.
Okay.
I had it someone put it in a cocktail once for me, and it wasn't bad. It added like a nice body to it. My theme song is Joe Jackson's 19 Forever. Cotton Eye Joe. But yeah, the Fireball I had in a cocktail wasn't bad. But I remember I was in Omaha for training when I was an engineer, and all the guys wanted to go to some steakhouse one night out in Omaha, and they cooked all their steaks in Fireball whiskey. It was like their gimmick. And they would basically pour the whiskey on the grill with the steak, and everyone just said,
flame.
Yeah, and I said I didn't eat steak, so everyone was like telling me, I think I had chicken cooked in the Fireball, and everyone was like, and I thought that the chicken tasted like cinnamon and it was good, but everyone was complaining about their steak tasted like cinnamon.
And what's wrong with that?
Well, it just ruined the steak for them, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, why don't they just think it's like, okay, just different flavor?
Bushmiller Jameson's. I'll go on Vinyl Dive and look and find some good soul music. Hey, man, if you see holler at me. Send me a message if you see any MF Doom vinyl. I'm on the lookout. Drank a half pint of Southern Comfort real quick in line before entering a concert. Regretted it, and so did Elton John. Oh, a half pint of SoCo, man. Was it the? Don't they make two different strengths of Southern Comfort? Was it the stronger one or like the more normal one? Half a pint, quite a bit. Quite a bit.
What is size of pint?
Half a pint. It's I don't know, what is that conversion to metric? After
Why you have this unit for? Okay.
1 pint is 473.18176 ml. So 236.5 milliliters.
Why you have this unit for?
I don't know, America, we don't like metric. That makes too much sense. Gin and juice. Sipping on my... You ever hear the country cover of Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice? I think it's by a band called The Gourd. It was the 70s, and I weighed about 100 pounds wet. Fireball from the freezer is my preference. The cinnamon is what makes it go down. Lightweight with alcohol. So I always alcohol being too cold kills the flavor to me. I like it like just cold enough to like be refreshing, but warm enough that the flavors open up quite a bit. But yeah, I remember I used to date a girl back in college when I lived in Boston, and she always had bottles of vodka in her freezer and would pull it out.
Freezer?
Yeah, so it doesn't freeze. All right, and so she would pull it out and make like vodka shots like at any time. She had a bit of a drinking problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about the time of the drink. What do you think about beer in ice?
Oh yeah, guys. So what do you guys feel? How do you feel about the beer with ice situation they have going on here in Asia? So even though they have refrigeration, they prefer to just take warm beer, pour it over ice.
Like a Thai restaurant, they're like when you order beer, they will bring a bucket of ice, and like the waitress will like put ice in your cup and then pour the beer.
I always find that a bit odd. And then they have the beer tower. So I've always seen they have the beer tower where they'll put like a separate section where the ice is separated from the beer, but then I've seen the other ones where they just fill it with ice and then pour the beer over it. Yeah, Joe says, yeah, I agree with Joe. No ice. It is weird. It's a strange thing. However, I want to make an argument for ice. Not that I prefer this, but I want to make an argument for it because there are times that it's just ridiculously hot and you're out at night sitting at an open air restaurant. They don't have refrigeration. You get a big plate of samtam, some sticky rice, and because they don't have refrigeration, right, the beer is room temp, right? But then they pour it over
30 degrees.
Yeah, and then they pour it over ice, and it becomes sort of refreshing with the saltiness of the samtam and the sticky rice. So it gets really cold, and it's enjoyable at that point. Whereas if you would just drink like a regular refrigerated beer, it would warm up too quick. So I mean, there's pluses and minuses to it. It's also Thai beer, right? So it's not like no one's arguing that Thai beer is the highest quality beer. Thai commercial beer, just like commercial American beer or commercial beer anywhere, right? It's not like the pinnacle of flavor. So if you water it down a little bit, it's like, but in that one situation, I will make the argument for putting ice in your beer is the only time I find it acceptable. If anyone ever did it in America, we're probably going to fight. But here in Asia, like, hey, you got to roll with the punches. Let's see what everyone says about that. So Steve said, I would never drink beer with ice. You say that, but again, like get into that situation where you're at a street food, 10 o'clock at night, it's still 30 degrees out, super hot, uncomfortable. You're eating samtam, sticky rice. That beer chilled ice is going to feel really good at that moment. Craig says, I like it. I could drink more throughout the night. Had to piss a lot too. Your water intake goes up considerably when you start putting the ice. Here's the other thing though. I'm only drinking ice at one of these street food restaurants that actually looks like production ice. I'm not doing these like bullshit places I used to see in Patumtani where they have a brick of ice and they chop at it and then they scoop that into a cup. No. I'm not fucking with that. It has to look like production quality ice.
It's okay. You live here long enough that you're gonna get like bad diarrhea.
So the ice I'll drink, and you guys, if you go to like the street food places, it'll be like long cylinders. It'll look like long donuts of ice. Like there's cylinders with a hole in the middle, and then they're broken into like individual pieces. And so it'll be round with a hole in it. That's the only ice I will drink at a street food restaurant, because at least that was made at a commercial facility where I'm going to assume it was produced with quality control. Maybe a wrong assumption. Look at Jim's head shaking. Might be a wrong assumption. We used to live next to an ice factory in Pachani Wet, and we would go out to the night market. We could hear them grinding the ice at night.
So no matter...
And they just drag the ice along the floor.
So let's say if you just first come here go to 7-Eleven, get ice in the bag. That's okay.
Yeah.
But do not random walk to like a grocery shop and get an ice in the bucket, and they will like put into the shopping bag for you like 5 baht, 10 baht. So don't do that.
Don't do that. So yeah, Steve says he always prefer cannabis to any alcohol. I'll agree. I think the right dosage of THC is a better inebriation with no side effects like hangover. But don't get your edibles from Minority Nomad. 5 milligrams my ass. I thought I was dying last time Eric gave me an edible. But yeah, I would prefer have a little bit of THC, like 2-3 milligrams is enough for me to like be relaxed and feel okay, as opposed to drinking copious amounts of alcohol, taking in all those calories, and having a hangover. No ice in my whiskey. I like a little bit of ice in my whiskey. It chills it.
Oh, Thai mix it with like a soda and Coke.
That's because they drink crappy whiskey for the most part.
Okay.
But for me, I like 1 cube, 2 cubes, melts a little bit, chills the whiskey down, adds a little bit of water to open up the flavor. I enjoy that. With a sipping whiskey, I enjoy that. Yeah, cold beer over hot, right? So no matter what you got to do to make it cold. Always have at least 2 sixes of Singha in the private reserve. Large liquor stores carry it here. Oh, nice. So you can get fresh Singha in America. That's good to know. I'm a connoisseur. I would never bruise my beer with ice. I'll tell you, Frank, man, in those situations where it's like you're at those situations where it's hot and they don't have cold beer refrigerated, a little bit of ice in the beer goes a long way to make it an enjoyable experience, man. In my opinion. Again, man, it's like I said, if someone did that in America, we're probably going to fight. If I'm in the U.S. and someone brings me beer in the ice, it's probably physical violence that is about to happen.
Really?
Most likely. And I think most people in America would feel that way. But here in Thailand, it's just par for the course. But, the same thing here with, iced coffee, right? Like
ice espresso.
Oh, God. Fucking Thai people with everything having to be an espresso. I love that we have great cafes here that make good espresso, but also make other types of coffee. Because not being able to get like a cup of brewed coffee at coffee shops is always frustrating to me. And not frustrating, but it's like you have to know where you can and can't go and get brewed coffee. And then like Amazon, if you order brewed coffee, they just make you Americano. Like that's not what I wanted, but whatever. Do what you do. Frank, he just doesn't put himself in those situations. Doesn't want to have that ice in the beer.
Oh, how can he avoid this long?
Crazy. I think you can get a ticket in America for beer ice. Yeah, right. You might go to jail. It might not even be a ticket.
Okay.
It might be a
no.
It might be a jailable offense.
No,
not even no need for a trial, right? As long as there's photo evidence.
You should try do it like that, like in US. I wanted to see a reaction of the people around you.
That'd be one of those funny kind of like what they call them social experiment videos. Set up like a restaurant in the US and like someone orders a beer, just deliver it with ice in it, and watch them freak out.
Like beer to the ice,
So, I would drink cold beer with dirt ice.
Ice.
No, I think the chilled mug is something that is greatly overlooked here. The iced mug. Like that's whether it be for root beer or beer, a frosty, chilled piece of glass.
Or you have to go to the restaurant that serve professional for the beer.
So I noticed that Pala actually has frosted glasses
really?
in one of their coolers. Yeah,
okay.
For all of their import bottled beers.
Oh, but not Thai beer. ใช่ปะ?
Yeah.
So normally Thai restaurants don't have that mug. You have to go to a restaurant that like they like well known for beer.
Yeah.
To get that type of mug.
But I think that's the way. Like that's something that's overlooked. That's really refreshing when you get like that little frosty interior exterior thing going on.
Oh, I want to have it with root beer.
Yeah, that's good. What would you? Yeah, well, that show. What would you do? Get ice in your beer? Might be a riot breakout depending on where you do that. Like do that in the deep south somewhere. Like someone walks in, they order a beer, they order a Budweiser. It comes with ice cubes in it. People start shooting each other. They can't even film. That would be hilarious. Beer. Ice in my beer. What are you doing? There's so many justifiable homicide scenarios in the South. I wouldn't be surprised if serving iced beer was specifically on the books in like Florida. I just saw a video the other day of a guy in Florida. He was in a pickup truck and someone in a Porsche drove up next to him. Well, first, like he brake checked the guy in the Porsche, and the guy in the Porsche bumped his car, and then the guy in the Porsche flashed a gun, and the guy in the pickup truck pulls his gun out and fired at the Porsche through his own windshield, and then uploaded the video to YouTube from his dash cam. Jim's face. It's like the most Florida thing I've heard of. The dude just fired through his windshield at the other car.
Why did he just open the window?
They were on the highway driving.
Yeah.
And so
at least open a window before you shoot.
No, the other guy was in front of him. He shot through his own windshield.
In front of him. No, can you just like open the window and like
the craziest
stick his arm out and like shoot?
That was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And the guy posted the video himself. He made like some things like, I don't love guns, but you gotta know who you're rolling up on. I was like, what?
Oh, crazy.
My cousin married a Welsh girl. He went to Wales, and when he was in the bar, they asked for ice for his Crown Royal. They looked at him like he had murdered someone. Was very paranoid about ice served in Thailand. If you look concerned enough, they'll instantly understand and say it's safe. Yeah, I just know over the years like what factory ice looks like. And like I won't drink crushed ice, and I won't drink ice that they chip there themselves. I only drink like that broken up donut looking ice. Nothing
or drink
better
from
than,
the restaurant, like a good standard restaurant.
Yeah,
they normally make that one ice.
True, yeah, like MK or something like that. Yeah. No, Pascal, I agree, man. AW root beer and a frosted mug, great, absolutely great.
Maybe try frosted mug with sassy.
Sassy, yeah, you could, yeah. So if I wanted to open a woodworking shop there, what's rent like for shop space? So it depends, like where you want, obviously where you want to be, right? If you want to open a woodworking shop in Siam, you're gonna pay tens of thousands of dollars. But also the further you get away from the BTS or MRT, you're going to be able to find bigger space for bigger open space for much less money, like
bigger, cheaper.
Yeah, and woodworking, obviously, you're not going to want an enclosed space, so you could rent like one of the half dome metal plate, or the metal plates with just the metal sheetrock. You can get some if you can find a place like that. A couple like less than $1,000 probably. You could probably find a pretty good sized spot for like 25, 30K. Again, there's going to be no air con. I mean, you're going to be that's like open air, John. But if you want to get like an interior warehouse space with like dust control and air conditioning, then
that's expensive.
Yeah, that's going to be expensive no matter where you are.
I don't think we have if it's like a wood workshop, I don't think in Thailand we have a place that has an AC.
Yeah.
Or a dust control. We just like do it open air.
Yeah.
With just a roof, like metal sheet roof, that type.
Yeah, that's what you mostly see here, John.
And have big fan. That's all.
If you want to fit out your own space, then warehouse space that you could use would be you'd have to get down to like bearing, I guess, to start to find, or on the other side of the Chao Phraya, on like the Silom line.
No, Silom, that line is expensive
No,
everywhere.
cross at Toxin, and you get further out.
That's seen a lot.
On the extension there, yeah. So you cross the river at Toxin, and keep going. It gets more affordable.
Yeah.
So but if you just want like an open air spot, definitely you could probably find something less than like 1,000. Beer menu, bottles of beer, $1.50 with ice, $22. Oh God.
Funny.
Senior Frank, and he claims self-defense. He did claim self-defense. That guy who shot through the and it's Florida.
Self-defense.
It's
with
Florida,
gun?
so he'll after shooting at a car in front of him.
Yeah.
And he'll probably
did that car harm him?
It's Florida, so he'll get off.
Oh,
They'll be like, yeah, self-defense.
really?
I think it was his friend. No, so the guy behind him bumped him, and then like they've got there's the dash footage on YouTube, but it popped up in my feed the other day. I was like, what? No, this can't be real. The guy shoots through his own windshield.
Just bump him and then he shoot through.
No,
his
so
windshield.
he says the other guy showed him like flashed a gun at him.
Yeah, show a gun, but didn't shoot him. Yeah.
So Joe asked, how am I doing on my steps? So I hit 10K yesterday. I hit 11K yesterday. But I've had like really bad back pain for the past week, so I haven't really moved around as much as I should. But I'm back on track. How you doing with yours, Joe? You still hitting like 15, 16K daily? And a long time ago that if you pulled the gun, be prepared to use it. Never just flash it. You know, that's the truth, man. I mean, if you've got a weapon, if you're going to pull a weapon, you really do have to be in the position to use it. You have to be ready to. Here too, yeah. Like don't fuck around. I mean, it's just that's just general safety. Like you don't just flash it hoping it's going to solve your problem. You have to be committed to using it. A&W at Pantip was always my go-to. I don't think
Pantip is long ago.
Yeah, it's still open as a mall. It's just different now.
Now I don't know. Is it A&W still there?
Yeah. It's like a lifestyle mall now, Craig. It's not a
changed.
Tech mall.
Yeah, because that time all the tech, not all, most of the tech stuff illegal sale.
Yeah, and so
it's like a copy software.
Black market stuff.
Yeah. But that's why it become popular because we cannot pay like the full price and like that time, like think about maybe 30 years ago, we don't understand like about the copyright law yet.
I think you understood. You just didn't care.
That time, it's not like they didn't promote it about like, oh, you cannot. So like, but after I think I don't know when they started to promote about the law, like you cannot break it. It's like, oh, okay.
I think for also like back when you could pirate software like that, they would fill it with malware and stuff. And I mean, now it's like mostly like the tech mall would really be MBK or Fortune Town, and it's mostly hardware driven these days. Make me a bow and arrow when I get there. You carry it over one shoulder with a quill on the back. You saw my video here in Florida. Almost 18,000. Nice. 18,000 a day. Killing it. Yeah, but never break check a tailgater. Just anticipate a bump and send them flying. Yeah. People who brake check other people, man, that's crazy. I got brake checked once by a guy. So when I was a technician early in my career, I had a big bucket truck, which is a 450 outrigged with a gas generator and a bucket that would run off the back and a big hut to keep gear in. And I remember I was driving down the highway in like an empty part of Rhode Island, and this guy out of nowhere, we're on a 2-lane highway, and I'm in the right lane, doing the basically 55, which is the speed limit in Rhode Island, because the truck really can't go much faster than that safely. So I'm doing 55, and this guy comes flying down on the left, cuts in front of me, and then brake checks me for no reason. And I slammed on the brake and I slowed down to the point where I just got off the next exit, but he just kept like slamming his brakes in front of me, and then he just took off. And I got off the next exit and then looped back around, got back on the highway with no issue, but just kind of silly. I mean, if you're just looking to get hit by a big company car, a big company vehicle, hoping to get a payout or something, but
maybe he wants to get paid.
Or like insurance, yeah. The company I work for is big, like third largest telecom in the world.
Or maybe because he see like the sticker on your truck, like what company is that? Like, okay, big pay.
I have 3 steps today from bed to the bathroom. I'm doing very good. Good job. What am I? I'm probably at like 100. I'm at 800 so far today. 807. John Poe says, I was a cop for 30 years and people never fail to amaze. I saw a judge pull a gun on an elderly woman in bed in a parking spot. Damn. Yeah, man. It's a game changer. I mean, again, to shoot through your own windshield.
Is it worth? And you have to pay for that to fix it. And how can you drive with broken windshield?
Oh, was he saying that's what happened? The shooter brake checked the guy before that. Oh, brandished his gun and then saw that shot. I was talking to my buddy the other night about weapons because we were talking about guns. He's British and he was like, he's always like going on to me about American gun culture, which I'm not a huge gun guy, but I was obviously in the Army, right? I've been around guns quite a bit, and he was talking about like the AR-15, and he was saying something, and so I was telling like my service weapon the entire time I was in the Army was an M4, and then I had a M9 pistol as my issue sidearm as well, and probably shot tens of thousands, if not 100,000 plus rounds through an M4. And he was like, oh, these people just want like full auto so they can go and spray and whatever. I probably shot the M4 in full auto like twice. Like it doesn't, semi-automatic's really the way that, for the most part, you use it. It's a bit light to be a full auto weapon. And I like the willingness of people to just like pull it out on the highway, shoot through your own windshield. I mean, like zero respect for the firearm in general. And you think about all the people on a highway, right? That shit could go wrong in so many ways. Plus, you're shooting through angled glass. I mean,
what if some glasses go back to you?
Well, I'm sure the glass could fire back, but you're shooting through a piece of multi-layered glass, right? So the glass is angled and you're shooting or like this, you're shooting through this angled glass, and it's got multiple layers because windshields have like a glue in the middle. That's why they don't shatter. There's so many things to consider, and like I'm sure he's never shot through glass before. That was probably his first time.
Why don't I just open the window and?
Well, again, because he's shooting. But again, you can't control. It's not a movie, right? Like
I know, but if he can shoot through the windshield, he cannot control either.
Yeah, I mean,
and why he make more damage?
It just, again, but also it's like you don't know where that bullet's gonna go. Like, again, like if you've never shot through a piece of glass before, you don't know how the bullet's gonna react. And I would imagine a guy like this has probably got hollow points in his gun. So as soon as he's shooting through the window, the hollow point starts to mushroom back, right? Which lessens the efficacy of the round. There's a lot of things to consider. And again, there's just all the people around you on the highway. Bullets have a ton of potential energy, right? So even you're shooting through your windshield, if it misses that car, what if it hits another car with a family in it?
Yeah.
People coming up on the side of you.
Yeah.
Shoots off on the side of the road, ricochets and hits something else. I mean, it wasn't a life or death situation. That car was in front of him. Like he could have literally just pulled over on the side of the road, let that car go.
Yeah.
And again, I'm all about like the Second Amendment. I believe people should have the right to own arms, but I don't think dumbasses should maintain the right to own arms. You do something stupid like that, right? Like, you should lose those privileges because you've just proved you're an asshole and you're not thinking about, the safety implications around you. And Florida has some crazy ass gun laws too. Like, they're like stand your ground and like all this other stuff. I mean, it makes it way too. It makes people feel like they're way too open to be able to just kill someone. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Maybe it just used his wipers and forgot. Yeah, no, he's a dumbass, Joe. He's a dumbass. Again, shooting through his own windshield. John Paul, if you're not from America, it's hard to understand the whole gun culture and even harder to explain. Plus, movies, TV, idiots only help to exaggerate the myth. Yeah. Again, like I've owned guns in the U.S. Like, I want to buy a 1911 here. I told Jib I want to buy a pistol, like a 45 cal 1911, but it's just 45 APC is not around. You can get here reliably, and we looked at the price of the gun, and it was like $2,000 for a very basic 1911. That would be like $400 or $500 US back in the States. So I was like, too much of a premium for that for me to consider it. But again, and then like there's only a handful of ranges in Bangkok you can even go to shoot, and most of those wouldn't allow a 45 anyway, so it didn't make sense. But again, I'm not going to be shooting through a windshield of something. If I can, and you can't really carry a firearm.
Yeah, you cannot
legally.
You cannot carry it like when it's in a situation in a position that you can just take it out of your pocket and shoot. You cannot. That's illegal here. You have to take it apart and put in a box, like safety box.
Yeah, you have to
at behind of your trunk. The type of that the way you can carry.
Yeah, you have to transport it locked.
Yeah,
separate from ammo, unloaded. Yeah, similar to when I lived in Rhode Island, you could only transport a firearm separated from ammo in a locked container.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you love Thailand. I know nothing about the laws here. Can you have a gun here? Not that I want. You can technically. So I have a couple foreigner friends who legally own firearms here. 9mm tends to be the most common thing. 38 revolver, 9mm semi-auto is what you can essentially get here. Again, it varies. You have to take safety classes. Not far from in China, not far from, was it Yadwat Road?
What is that?
The Gold Road.
Yawarat.
Yadawat.
Yawarat.
Yawawat Road.
Yawarat.
Not far from that road that Jiv just said, there's a section where there's a lot of firearm shops. Mostly owned by police.
You can go to the old Siam.
Yeah.
That the shopping mall that one side sell guns and on the road around that sell guns too.
Most of those shops are owned by police officers, is my understanding.
I think.
Yeah, and most of the shop owners will pair you with a Bangkok police firearms expert. So if you want to own a weapon, they will take you to the range. They will do the Thai safety course with you and get you certified to be able to buy a weapon. Under no circumstance can you legally carry a weapon in Thailand. Watch Jordan Kelper, good guy with gunpowder. Oh yeah, I've watched a bunch of his stuff. He's hilarious, and he does he makes some great points in a very fun way. Yes, I have handguns. I would never. Yeah, right. When I was young, I got pulled over and didn't want to scare the crap out of cops. So I told him there was a loaded 44 Magnum under the seat, and he asked me if it was loaded, and I said, well, that got cut off. I'd have to go to. I don't have the YouTube page open. Sorry, Dave. I'll read that later. Won't do much good if it's not. Oh, I said it won't do. Yeah. Jim Genleka. Hey, from Los Angeles. Hey, Jim. How's it going, man? How's things in LA? Guns close to the gold shops.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is kind of fun.
And a couple years ago, there's like a guy rob a gun shop, something.
Yeah.
You remember that news?
Yep. So
And get you.
There was actually, he went in and he ended up getting shot by the cop that owned the shop. There was actually, we were walking by that section once with the guns, and then there was a whole bunch of tables that had dildos. Do you remember this? And I was filming it, and you're like, "Don't film."
Is that
years ago? When I first started YouTube.
I can't
when we
remember.
lived in Pachani Way, yeah. Jim's like, "Don't film that; they'll get upset." I grew up in San Fernando Valley. Oh, nice. Joe says, I have a concealed weapons permit and never take it out. Joe, do you need a permit in Florida to carry a concealed weapon? I thought everyone could just carry a concealed weapon in Florida. Everyone's from the San Fernando Valley.
Where is that?
California.
Ah.
Awesome. In Santa Monica and Venice for me. So I used to live in Monterey, nowhere near where you guys are talking about.
Is this nice there?
Yeah, California, Southern California to Central California has great weather.
Is it expensive?
I don't know if you guys in Thailand. Thank you, man. Oh, yeah, California's crazy expensive and crazy taxes.
Ooh.
That's why a lot of people are leaving.
Ooh.
Both these guys, 64, both from San Fernando.
Why are you everyone from LA?
Oh, Jim was born near Dam Young. Nice. So before Dam Young existed, or when did they build Dam Young, in the 80s?
Before.
Really?
Then how can you fly out?
I thought there was another airport before Dam Young.
Maybe that's before I remember then. We have an army airport, Utapao.
And then Suvarnabhumi, was built in the 2000s?
I can't remember the year, but like after Don Mueang.
So Jim, we used to live out by Dam Young, not far from Dam Young, in Pachani Wet.
Say the name of the what, see?
Wat Samian Nari.
Correct.
Yeah, near Wat Samian Nari. I was an Air Force kid. Nice.
Ah.
So how hard is it to get a license for a motorcycle in Thailand? John, if you have a U.S. license, they'll just convert it for you. So I didn't even have a U.S. motorcycle license, and they just gave me one when I converted my driving license. But if you have a U.S. motorcycle license, guaranteed there's a treaty between the U.S. and Thailand. They'll just convert it. My last LA residence was Tarzana, Lindsay, and Ventura. Tarzana has the tar pits, correct? Texas getting ready to sign gun without permit bill. Really? Like
Gun
to carry?
without permit?
To be able to just carry anything in Texas?
Scary.
Isn't Texas an open carry state anyway? Like you can open carry in Texas, just throw it on your hip?
So it's like if you just go to like grocery, you have like gun hanging like in a pocket here.
Like on your belt. Yeah.
It's weird.
Thai Air Force Base at Dam Young. Yeah, Thai Air Force Base there. Yeah. Now they have a Thai military golf course there. You can play golf while the planes land. Oh, he knows Wat Samian Nari. Nice. Yeah, Wat Samian Nari is a cool spot, man. We used to live on Pachani Wet Nung, which is that soy that runs right up there. There's such a great neighborhood over there. I really liked it. Just
not easy to commute.
Not easy to commute, not easy to get around.
Traffic so bad lately. Wipawadi.
Yeah, Wipawadi's really bad.
My friends, he work at the Bangkok hospital, so it's like on Phetchaburi Road, right? So he drive there to his condo is somewhere on Wipawadi Road. It's like maybe near Lat Prao.
Well, the intersection.
It's like 2 hours, more than 2 hours in some days. It's like crazy. Yeah.
Michigan is open carry, even though I own several, haven't carried since I retired.
Yeah, why would you have to carry a gun?
I mean, if it's your job.
It's a job, it's okay. But if just like me.
Yeah.
why would I need a gun to go out like to the park
Well,
to like shopping?
Bangkok's pretty safe, for the most part.
You just know where to go. You don't go to like a ghetto area and get robbed,
Yeah, I think it's part of the culture in America for sure. It's a weird thing. I mean,
it's like if you have a gun in your house in the bedroom just in case that someone try to rob you in the night.
Yeah.
I understand that, but like to carry it out with you daytime is like weird.
I always think it's funny when people react to like sometimes the traffic police here don't carry a weapon.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're traffic police.
Yeah,
they
take
no
care
need for
of
a gun.
Yeah. And I have a friend who came here who was a cop, and he was like, the cops, like, they're not real cops, right? They don't have guns. I'm like, no, that's the traffic police. They're real police. They just don't need a gun. It's not what they need. Some have it.
Because here, if police shoot someone, even that guy's like get high and go crazy and stab people, they will get trouble by shooting that type of guy.
I can't think of the last time we heard of a police shooting in Bangkok.
Not in Bangkok, but in other provinces.
In other provinces, yeah. But there was a case in Bangkok, this is 5 years ago. This guy walked into a police station with a knife.
Oh, he's just like maybe depressed, upset.
Yeah, he was like really upset, but like he was threatening to like cut people, then to kill himself. And one of the cops in the station, I think he was a detective, like just talked the guy down.
Calm down.
Yeah, calmed him down, got his knife away. And then just like sat him down and they talked to him and relaxed him. And like the guy cried, they hugged, right? And like spent time with him and like the same week, like 2 people got killed by cops in the US. I mean, it's a different culture altogether. And Eric talks about the Minority Nomad. If you guys follow him, he talks about all the time, just like, the culture of like being a black guy, outside the U.S. and like the way police treat you in Thailand is like so different.
How different?
It's an institutional thing. Like cops here will just like in general, like he doesn't get hassled, he doesn't get stopped. And he's from Cleveland, right? So like I know what it's like in Cleveland, like and like what the culture around like where he grew up in East Cleveland's like. And here it's just like cops are like, hey, what's up? Like help you out. Like cops in America do too. Like if I ask a cop on the street like for help with something, they'd be like, hey, I don't know where this is. Can you do you know? And they'd be like, yeah, over here. But it's a different when you see here like cops talking people down or like again, like in Bangkok, like I can't even remember ever having a police shooting. But then in like the US they happen all the time. Right? It's a cultural, like systemic thing. Oh no, that's the La Bear tar pit. Sorry, so I was. Tarzana was about 2 miles from me. Reseda, everyone's talking about California now. If your name is Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
Detroit is a different world job. You can get robbed getting gas at noon. Yeah, Detroit's. I almost moved to Detroit and bought a building out there, and there was the first time I went to look at the building in Detroit. And there was a restaurant, like a pub restaurant in the first floor. And the second time I went back, it was all boarded up and there were bullet holes in the plywood even.
Huh?
Yeah, there had been like a shootout inside. Yeah.
Why Detroit's like that? I thought it's a big city.
No, it's a small Midwest city. Oh, mid-sized Midwest city.
I heard a name before. Detroit.
Yeah, it's not big, but it's a city for sure. I don't really trust myself to carry a gun on me, especially in my teens and 20s. Yeah. I mean, I think when there's like, again, like if you have a need, like a real need is one thing, or if it's your job is one thing, because there's a responsibility that comes with that if it's your job, or there should be a responsibility that comes with that if it's your job. But at the same time, like if you just want to carry it because it's cool, probably not the person that needs to be carrying or should be carrying a gun. In LA all the time, shoot first, ask questions later.
Really?
LA, when I was a kid, LA was rough.
It's like a Mel Gibson movie, like little weapon, something in the movie like that, like drive around and shoot
Yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah. Have you seen that giant fork-like thing Thai police used to hold down someone? I guess it works. I have not seen that giant fork. A giant fork. Huh.
สวิงไหมอะ so like some type of training there's like a throw like a fish net
I've
on
seen
you
I've seen the Thai police do that with the net.
or the fork I'm not sure
My buddy filmed a
or maybe the fork is like to hold your neck like a snake like
I've seen my buddy did a documentary with Vice about Caleb. Did a documentary with Vice before about Thai police because Caleb speaks Thai.
okay
And he went out with the no, it wasn't about the police. It was about the volunteer emergency service. And they went out and they were looking at. They were going to different locations, and they went to a place where like a boyfriend girlfriend were drunk and or high,
okay
and got into a fight,
okay
and stabbed each other. And the police showed up and were just like super chill about everything, and brought the guy outside for a smoke and interviewed him. And he was talking about like, oh, we got into a fight and she stabbed me and I punched her. And they're like, okay, you guys are both gonna go to jail. You're gonna go in this car. You're gonna go in that car. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
it's weird
Actually, John, I'd be interested because you were a cop for 30 years. I know I saw the article you sent me about the reptile rescue stuff. But what do you think about like cops in Thailand who like don't carry a gun? Because like I don't think I know any cop in America who doesn't carry a gun. Like, does that seem strange to you as someone who has law enforcement experience from the U.S.?
because here if police shoot a gun that's a big deal that's a big problem for them too
Yeah, there's definitely more. There's also no qualified immunity for police here, John. So like they're subject to the same laws as everyone else if they were to get into an infraction while working. But again, like what do you think about like cops here who choose not to carry a gun because it's not critical for their day-to-day role versus like I can't like even when I lived in Rhode Island, there was a guy who was a retired cop who worked as a traffic officer, like directing traffic, like as a special, like part-time holiday thing in America, in the city. But he would still carry a gun in direct traffic, even though it was just
direct traffic need a gun, really?
Well, I mean, it's part of the uniform for him, right? So it'd be interesting. I don't know how cultural or what it is. Hey, Maddie, what's going on, man? How's things? I say the same thing. Not a better place in the world. Grew up in the 60s and 70s. And California was kind of always like that. Growing up on the East Coast, California was like the dreamland, right? Like this is like, oh, California is like, ooh. Gotta love town. I was such a bad person when I was younger. If I saw someone that was threatening to kill themselves with a knife, I would have given them a gun and shown them the correct way. Oh, God. Oh, Dave, come on. I think it's different mentality in the U.S. and yeah, it's definitely systemically it's different too, man. I mean, you know, I think the other thing to think about is, you know, Bangkok's a huge city, right? Like New York, but there's not that I see, there's not the level of violent crime that I've seen in some U.S. states. Like, it doesn't exist here on the same level.
Such as?
Yeah.
What?
But like the shooting, stabbings, like there's not. But however,
we have, but not often.
So I mean, I think back to the food vendor who got killed by the police son. The son of the cop.
Oh, he's not vendor. Actually, he's working in his shop, in his
bakery,
house.
right?
Yeah, the bakery in his house.
B. In Thailand, kids play with realistic toy guns. Definitely not in the U.S. Too risky. Yeah. You can actually buy like fake toy guns that are black here with like no orange tip or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think some of the UK police carry guns now, but in Japan they don't. It's still like that. But in Japan, policing is very strict. Singapore, they have guns, and but different as well, right? Like it's Singapore, like law enforcement's really strange. They have almost like 100% like a capture rate or solve rate for crimes. The pole is called a man catcher, a little smoother than a Japanese cop one, but Google Thai. So I just Google Thai man catcher. I feel like something crazy is gonna come up here if I Google Thai man catcher. Oh, okay. Luckily, yeah, I see it. Okay, I thought some crazy stuff was gonna come up. Actually, there's some photos here of them using it. Yeah, so let me. Oh, it's a video. Can I share this? Let me see if I can share that. Share screen. I think it's going to be screen 2, not screen 1. Oh, you know what? It doesn't. I can't share because it won't allow me to. I'd have to reboot StreamYard. I have to use, for whatever reason, StreamYard stopped working in Chrome for me. So, yeah, I had to redo it in Firefox. And so it'll want me to restart if I do it. So another time. Sorry, guys. Surin. Jim said also the level of homelessness in LA versus BKK is night and day. Not so much in BKK Thailand. So interesting. You know, it is funny that, you know, homelessness is not really a thing. But again, I think there's a subsistence living aspect to life in Bangkok or life in Thailand for Thais that makes it not as much of an issue here. And I think a lot of what we found in the news, at least that the news has reported over the last couple of years, a lot of the homeless people here tend to be like imported Burmese like beggars that maybe Thai gangsters bring in and be like, okay, your job, we're gonna chop your arm off, and your job is to beg.
They're not homeless. Like there's a van or vehicle drop them at like the spot at lots of traffic that people will come and give them money. So like this type of like gang will like drop like the beggars around, and then there will be the time that they come to pick them up, pick them back, so they're not like really like sleep on the street.
Bo's Kashi, it's a trap. Yeah, right. This is Googling Thai man catcher. Definitely could have been a trap. Sounds more humanistic than a gun. So actually, I was looking at it. It's fork isn't even really the right term. It's like a stick with like an arch on the end and has little rubber balls on it. I'll watch this video after, but yeah, it looks interesting.
So I think with this, if that guy, the bad guy, like crazy, has knife, so police doesn't have to shoot him. Just like use that stick to like just press him down to the ground and lock him. Maybe
I saw a video recently of homeless in LA, and they were just walking down the street filming. There's just tents everywhere, and like
is it allowed to set up a tent on the street?
So apparently it's illegal, but the police like don't crack down on it all the time.
So that it can be like a refugee camp, that type.
It looks like a refugee camp.
So they let it happen, and it might be like a city, a chatter later.
like a shanty town.
Scary.
Yeah. Where are they? Yeah. Yes, slums are the way to live and start a new life. Yeah. In many cities around the world, but no slums in the U.S. I would say that one of the other things that's interesting in the U.S. is van life has become very popular. Like people, so there's like obviously the YouTube, Instagram side of van life where people have like these luxury vehicles they build out and they travel around and they work. But then there's people who just can no longer afford to live like an apartment or a house, and they live in their vehicles. Like sometimes not even vans, just like cars. and they'll just park somewhere like almost indefinitely until they get like shunned away. Yeah.
Sad.
Homeless in BKK is different, but I wouldn't say it's less than LA. Shanties and impoverished housing under a bridge isn't a big leap above tent under bridge. Yes, Frank, I don't disagree with you there, but at the same time, like some of those like little shanty places under the bridge have been there for generations, right? Like I remember when we lived in Pachani Wet, there was like a little shanty on the Klong, the little shanty houses. And the one that you walk past every day, they would have their windows open. They had like a 60-inch TV and an Xbox. And they parked their pickup truck under their little shanty house. I mean, that's not everyone, but you don't generally see that in a homeless tent camp.
They're not really, not the real homeless. Yeah. They're just like get a free land.
Yeah, I've had that land probably for generations, right?
Yeah.
And then they just kind of stay there.
Yes.
Yeah, the van goes around and picks up the handicap in the village early AM, drops gives some parents some cash, but surely, I don't even know if they get to keep much of it, like maybe enough for like a meal. But it's funny, there's a woman who you'll often see her begging on the bridge at the Bangkok BTS, who's clearly not Thai, because sometimes like Thai people will speak to her and she just like nods her head, she doesn't say anything.
I don't know, she has like a
baby.
No, I see other girl, other lady. She's like look healthy, but just stand and beg for money. Is like, why don't you get a job?
The one that we have a group of kids that set up their band every.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so they set up their band. Frank, I don't know if you've seen these guys on the BTS. Mostly horn players. And they'll have a box with the sign and tie says that they're
for education, for their
raising,
own
like education,
for their
money,
own,
for band education or music education. So we'll always give them like a couple hundred baht or 1,000 baht if they're really good. They play really good music.
Good music. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll sit there and just listen for like a minute, but they're out there plying their trade, so I do not mind to give them money. But the second I do that, the freaking beggar lady will walk over to me and like just like stand there like this and try to get me to give her cash.
No.
And I'm just like, you gotta just walk away. And now she likes to stand and block the stairway.
Oh yeah, I mean that one.
Yeah.
Stand at like the end of the walkway and to do the stair.
Try to block the stairs as you walk by.
So she's like, you see like other like the disabled person, they try to sell something. Like if they sell like a snack, I will buy. But like not to just stand and like beg for money. No, don't.
Yeah, the kids playing the music now.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
always give them money.
They're really good. They play like jazz. Really good. Austin has a lot of tents. Wow, really? Austin? Are those all the people who moved from California to Austin because they wanted the better life, Frank? I've been in Thailand for 2.5 years now. I've always felt safe any place I've been. Retired people are some of the nicest people I've ever met and found my wife. So I guess I'm just like,
you're lucky.
Yeah, no, and living up CERN. Is your wife from CERN originally, Dave? Is that why you guys ended up there? Does she work? Is like her job bring her up there? It's kind of like a small city, right? CERN. I've never felt unsafe in Thailand for the most part. I mean,
but don't forget, like some drunk Thai guys try to challenge you.
Yeah. So
when you walk past.
So when we lived in Golf View out in Rangsit was probably the one place like the most issues, and I ended up having an altercation with a guy and I broke his arm. But he was like literally trying to fight me and like wouldn't leave me alone. I was just trying to get home and eat my microwave food I bought at 7-Eleven. And for whatever reason, he thought that we needed to fight. And then one time the drunk or probably high German guy tried to like steal my phone.
Maybe he's not German, but he speaks German.
Yeah. He tried to steal my phone on the train. And I punched him one time and he fell down. I punched him in the chest. And then the police, not the police, but the BTS security guards came over and they were like, okay, go. and I don't know if they arrested him or they just kicked him off
I
the
think just
train.
kick him off.
But yeah, so that was at Chatu Chat. But yeah, there's I've never felt unsafe. But again, I'm a huge white dude. Like my perception of safety is very different than a lot of other people's. And so like Jib would obviously not feel safe in every situation that I would. And it varies.
I feel the same when I walk to my family house and you complain that it's not safe.
It's pretty ghetto though. I mean that walkway is pretty sketchy. That's like some training day type bullshit. But there's so for instance, I rented my studio, my podcast studio out to a woman who was recording voiceover work for like the Puerto Rico version of NPR, or the Puerto Rican NPR station, for a project she did. And she was, I probably have this wrong, I want to say she was either Venezuelan and had lived in Mexico, or she was Mexican and lived in Venezuela. Very nice woman. But we were talking, I walked her and her son, who came with her when she came to record, out to the soy to show them where to get the songtel afterwards. And we were talking, she was saying that Bangkok is the city she's felt the most safe in compared to like Mexico City and Caracas. Like she felt like she could go anywhere in Bangkok and not be unsafe. Encampments at freeway underpasses. Yeah, so the freeway underpass encampments, I guess that'd be similar to the shanties under the bridges here and stuff.
Yeah.
Congrats, can't wait to go back. Got ticks for August. Hopefully it can have August will, I think I'll be able to do it, just it's 14-day ASQ as of right now. Everything's ASQ.
August, maybe things change.
Might
Maybe
be,
it's get better.
Far enough out. I see the kids set up over in front of Seacon Square on the weekends by Train Market.
I mean, we never go to Train Market.
Never been there, yeah. Ooh, what's great? 161,548 homeless in Cali last year.
Whoa.
Wow. That's a very specific number, Craig. I feel like it's probably, if they can get that specific, it's probably considerably higher. It's sad that there are people that are legitimately homeless, sick, and need help, but also many instances of scammers. Yeah, it is both, right? There are people who are definitely could legitimately use help in some way, and there are people who are legitimately scammers in other ways. It is all of people from Austin that can no longer afford to live. Oh, damn. Wow.
Ooh.
And probably a lot of mental health cases and drug addicts. The city was failing to manage the social service and medical needs of the indigent and risk population. Yeah. That's sad. That's sad to hear. That's always problematic, I think. Mental health is, in America, and I'm sure Thailand as well. I don't know too much about it in Thailand, but in America, mental health is definitely one of the areas where we fall short. Over 50,000 in LA. Wow. Yeah, she works for the government TOT. Yeah. Okay. I have a funny story about the TOT Colo, but I'll share that in another time. Actually, over 66,000. That was 66,000 in LA. Wow. Damn. Drug addiction, which leads to mental. Sometimes they're causing it, and they cannot be forced to be off the streets. Yeah, I mean, I think America's moving in the right direction with the way they handle drugs, with like decriminalization stuff, but not quick enough. There's definitely a lot of pieces to the puzzle. Love and West is fine. Thailand, a good place to live. Jim, man, I gotta say, dude, Thailand's probably the best place to live. I mean, I've never been to Surin, so I can't say, but Bangkok, I always say Bangkok's the greatest city in the world. A lot of people give me shit about it, but there's no better place in my opinion. I mean, it's got everything you could potentially need, and like the quality of life that we have here, and the things that you can disengage from American life. Like, I don't need to own a car here. I don't need. I remember I used to work with a guy who was a boomer, living out here in Thailand. He was like, "Oh, you got to buy a car." So if you don't have a car, how do you enjoy getting out of the city? I was like, you can rent cars for like a few days at a time.
Take train.
And not have to take all the liability of car ownership, or you can take the train, or you can hire a driver. You know, the ability to detach from a lot of the requirements of life in America, living in Bangkok is amazing. However, I will say Patty was just in Hat Yai, and he loves Hat Yai. He thinks it's the best place he's ever been in Thailand. And I will say when I was in Hat Yai, I really enjoyed it. Now, there's no public transportation. You can't detach like you can here. But
you have to drive. All right.
If I was going to pick another city in Thailand, it would probably be Hat Yai to live in.
It's hot now.
It's hot, but like you're 5 minutes from the beach, right?
Okay.
You have a nice city. If you live in the right part of the city, you can walk almost everywhere.
You don't want to live in Phuket?
No.
So I send you to train a tiger.
It's just that'd be cool, but no, I don't want to live on the island. But like I definitely couldn't live in Chiang Mai because of the burning season.
Oh, I don't.
And Isan's cool, but not for me. And Hat Yai being close to the beach, but also being a city is kind of cool. I think you would like all the seafood there too, because when I went through the market there, everything was seafood, and it was all so cheap compared to here. Like real prawn, ocean prawn. Yeah.
Oh, I would like to eat it.
Yeah, Jim, I love Thailand. I hope to die. Won't be going back. I'm like, I'm the same way, Dave. Right? Thailand is home now. Right? Like when people ask me, like, what's home? This is home. Thailand is home. Yeah. Unless it's funny because a couple of years ago, Jim and I were talking about like we're going through scenarios like what if we relocate to the U.S. What would that look like? And COVID happened, like all the Asian like hate crimes now in the U.S. and it doesn't make sense. And Thailand has been so good, like for me, and Jib loves it here, and like. We had even looked at like other countries we were potentially living in Asia. Like, we talked about like Borneo and then like Taiwan for a little bit, and like nothing really makes sense. Nothing beats Bangkok. That's the problem. Nothing beats Bangkok. Bangkok is the greatest city in the world. So
for you
too, I think. Where else do you want to live?
Of course, for me always because I'm Thai.
Yeah, of course. I want to go. So what's Jim say? I want to go to the U.S. when I was young, but now I want to go back. Yeah, no doubt, man. Right? Like, so Jim, let me ask you: have you experienced any like the Asian hate crime or like seen any of that in the community where you live? Because it's all over the news here and on Thai social media. A lot of the Thais talk about it quite a bit, and I have other people who I follow from different parts of the country in the U.S. and they're all like kind of really upset about it. I can understand that. Frank says Bangkok has everything you need except for fresh air. Yeah,
right.
And so that's where Hat Yai is kind of eats us out. Like ekes us out, not eats us out, ekes us out. If you look at the AQI in Hat Yai is always quite good. But they don't have the public transport. They don't have the infrastructure that we have here. Good luck. I hope you get back, Jim. My thoughts are let's get you back here, Jim. Training day. He's making a joke about what I called your neighborhood, your parents'
It's
neighborhood.
not that bad.
It's that one footpath.
No.
It's like the jungle in Training Day.
No.
It's hot now. Talk about that's right. Like we're in Thailand, everything's hot. Jim says, "Hat Guy sounds awesome." Patty made it look better than real life. I think. You know what though, Jim? Like he showcases certain parts of the city for the show. The whole thing with him eating that corn while he was walking down the streetlights was funny, and I was only in Hat Yai for a few days. I was down there teaching a workshop at one of the universities. It is definitely a cool city. I think you would need a scooter or a car if you live there, just because there is no public transportation and it's not as easy to get around. And I don't know that they have Grab there either. I mean, at least not in the volume that we have here. But from a perspective of being a city, it's big. It feels bigger than like Ubon Ratchathani or Hangin, and it's more dense. And you're also near the beach, and there are mountains. I mean, you have like kind of the best of both worlds. And because the south of Thailand it mostly does rubber farming, that they don't burn the crop every year because those rubber trees have a lifespan of 20, 30 years. So you don't have like this yearly burn that goes on.
They will cut and sell the wood, not burn it.
Yeah. But I mean, they harvest rubber for 30 years from these trees. So
and that's how they grow durian.
Yeah. Whereas in the north, they grow rice and they burn those fields every year. So whereas I think Chiang Mai is beautiful, but I've never been during burning season because why would you if you don't have to? So like that's where like I think Hat Yai ekes it out. It might be a little bit hotter than Bangkok, but you're near the ocean, you have mountains, it's better AQI.
Humidity.
Yeah, it's going to be more humid for sure. Thailand is close to other Asian countries to travel to also. Yeah, so when I used to have a show in Malaysia, we lived in Pachaniwet, and I would pop over to Dam Myong and fly to KL and go to my studio or fly to the location where we recorded for that week, and then KL and then back. And 2 hours to fly to another country. I could fly. At one point, I flew direct to Borneo. I think it was a 3-hour flight. In Borneo. Borneo is going to be the greatest place in the world to vacation. Hey, Chris, what's going on, man?
First shot. You get first shot.
Oh, yeah, you got your first shot?
Oh. Do you have fever?
How you feel? Are you speaking Russian?
Huh?
That's that meme. Everyone's like, oh, I got the Russian vaccine.
Oh, he got Sputnik 5?
I don't know what he has. What shot did you get? Not really. Maybe they target certain people. Yeah, I mean, I think unfortunately what we've seen on, at least what I've seen on media, is that mostly they're targeting like older Asian people.
Old Asian.
Because if you're a racist piece of shit, right, you don't have the balls to roll up on someone who's gonna clap back at you.
Do you train Muay Thai?
Yeah, you're a Muay Thai. Are you related to Bokao? It's a joke.
That's a good one.
But yeah, no, like these assholes that are attacking Asian people, they're attacking elderly people. Because they don't have the balls to roll up on someone that might clap back at them. So that's the reality of the situation, man. You're 30, 40 years too young for them to consider. And Mazakian, is that baby blue or my TV is not calibrated? Baby blue, what?
Your t-shirt, maybe?
My t-shirt? No, my t-shirt's white.
White?
Yeah. But also, does it look blue on our screen? It might be the LEDs that I'm under, and the white balance could be off on my webcam. No, because the background, this looks white back here. Oh, but they're different light.
It's a natural light behind.
I think this is a 5,000 Kelvin LED above us, and the daylight is hitting the bookshelf. So this is probably balanced to 6,000 or 55. Got my second shot. Hey, how do you feel after the second shot, Jim? Amazakian's writing in Thai again. What's that say, Jim? What?
I think he used Google Translator.
Oh, of course he did. What's it say though?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. But beware slow eating ice cream, something like that.
Oh, talking about your
yeah. I don't like to bite cold.
Amazakian, you're in Indonesia, right? I think he's in Indonesia. Man, I loved the food when I was in Indonesia. I know you like the cake. You didn't like the food as much as me, right?
Not really, but I like cake there.
Oh, I love like all the Indonesian dishes.
Like shopping there.
The flavors in Indonesian food are out of this world. So good. I was in Jakarta. I mean, I didn't like get outside of Jakarta.
Oh, I like a buffet in the hotel in Jakarta.
The food's so good.
It's a beef bacon. It's a beef bacon.
Oh yeah, they like that because it's a Muslim country. They like that beef bacon.
Yeah.
Excellent, mate. Bose Kashi Krung Tap. It is home. Would not mind a bit more clean air, safe side. Sidewalks. That's mine and Jim's biggest complaint. Kunta, I was just saying to Frank the other day, I love when older Thais call Bangkok Kuntap.
กรุงเทพ
But I love the city. I do wish they had better footpaths to walk on, like nice sidewalks that you could actually walk down. Because it definitely is sketchy AF at times to try to get down some of these footpaths, man.
Yes.
And then I got a story. When we lived in Pachani Wet, I would often take the train home to Chatuchat and then either get a taxi, but honestly, 9 times out of 10, taxis don't want to take you to that short distance from.
It's too short for them.
Too short for them.
And they want a fixed rate.
Yeah, like 200 baht. Like literally, it's a 40 baht taxi ride. And
no, it might be like less than 100. Let's say it can be
40.
No. More than 40. I often
took it for 40, 45.
No.
Yes.
60.
Let's say 60, but it's 40. But so what I would do is I would often walk as far as I could, or sometimes I would walk all the way home. I would just there's a section with no footpath. You have to traverse at the Lot Prow intersection. That is sketchy. But I was one time planning to walk up to the bus station at Lot Prow.
Because of the traffic.
Because of traffic. And it was rainy season. And so, here they don't make concrete sidewalks in most places in Bangkok. They put paver stones down. And so I'm walking up and I'm wearing wool slacks and I'm walking up the sidewalk in front of Chatuchat, which is a very nice open sidewalk. And I stepped on a paver stone and it collapsed out from under me. And literally there was a sinkhole that was 3 feet deep. And so just my right foot fell in and I ended up falling down and my butt on the left cheek hits the ground. My glasses fall into the sinkhole. I get covered in water, scrape my leg up. And so I'm like, God damn. I walk to the bus stop and I end up getting on the next bus. And when the bus comes and I'm waiting, now my ankle's swelling up while I'm standing on the bus. By the time I get home, Jim's like, what did you do? What were you out doing? So Senior Frank says, Bali and the Maldives are about 4-hour flight from Bangkok. Looking forward to be able to take advantage of specific benefits of living in Thailand. I've never been to we've never been to Bali or Maldives. I'd like to go to Bali. I don't know about Maldives. Seems like a bit kind of boring. It's just island resorts, right? Beach resorts, little individual beach resorts. But the water looks beautiful. But Bali seems really cool, really interesting. And no speaking Russian, but my arm hurts and my German has gotten surprisingly better. Jim says, had a headache, a little fever for a day, took Tylenol, slept, felt great next day. Mine was Moderna Vax.
Okay.
I moved from City of Angels in Thailand to LA, City of Angels in the U.S. Crazy, yeah. Jim, can you say the full name of Bangkok?
You still remember the full name of Bangkok?
Managed to jag a Pfizer. Don't ask. Feeling fine so far. Thai version of Minesweeper, right? Yeah, the sidewalk with the paver stones.
Remember Minesweeper? Yes. Yes,
no doubt,
it
man.
is.
Sidewalks here are crazy. Bangkok and LA, official friendship cities. Bali, so many times. You guys are missing it. Get over that. At some point, I think, so 2020, we had discussed Japan and Taipei were 2 trips we really wanted to take. And
lucky that we didn't book the flight.
Yeah. Actually, we were about to book Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
actually, I'm talking to my friend about the trip to Japan to see Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys were talking about that.
Yeah.
But we were looking at booking our own trip to Japan.
That's one too.
I want to go check out some of the indigo shops in Japan, the denim shops.
Just lucky that we didn't book anything yet.
And then we were talking about Taipei for later in the year because I've always wanted to go to Taipei. and
tapioca milk tea.
Yeah, and so we were looking at both
Bubble
of those,
tea.
and yeah, it just ended up not happening. Obviously, we're not planning anything for this year other than actually
we just planned
Yeah.
for like Branbury,
yeah,
and then like no.
we plan to go paddleboarding in Brumbury, and all of a sudden, like the third wave hits.
Yeah, just like we just talk about it, like after I graduate, right?
Yeah.
It's like I spend a couple days in Branbury,
So
and then it's
Jib's
just done.
3 days ago was supposed to be Jib's ceremony, and obviously postponed. And our plan was to go to Branbury probably Monday. Right, we were gonna fly, take the train down to Branbury.
Yeah.
Spend probably 3 days, to be honest. We don't really. It's hard for us to like. More than 3 days, I get bored. I think you do too. And it's like
I cannot sit without do anything.
Yeah,
and it's like I have to carry all my stuff to work there. Like not
at the
convenient.
3 day mark. It's like okay, time to get back to what we do. But we had kind of planned on Branbury paddleboarding, doing some exploring, filming some videos, and it just, third wave hit, and we sort of knew even before these restrictions, we knew we weren't going to do it because of the third wave and the cases. And then when Jib's school got closed down, we knew like, all right, we're going to postpone until we know things are good. But Branbury and paddleboarding still on the agenda. Post rainy
It's
season.
always there.
Yeah.
After all the situation, we can visit.
Something else I'd love to do this year is the sunflower trip on the train. If things open up, and we can do it. That's a great day trip. Is go out to see the sunflower farms on the train, and like 5 hours, right out and back, and it's just a great day. No aircon, wooden seats, but just really wonderful. The train just stops on the track, and you get off in the middle of these fields and walk around. It's a beautiful day out, and you get to be on this old train. It's so much fun. The steam train happened, but Jib was in school, and I didn't want to do that without her, so we skipped that this year. There are a lot of. I want to do the train trip up to Ayutthaya, but that's still. Someone just woke up.
Do you want to see my twin? You guys want to see my twin?
2001 plan stay alive. Yeah,
stay alive. Yeah, I think maybe 2020 still.
Thank you for the super sticker, Jim. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Hey, you want to see? Come look at Jib's twin. Jim, come here.
Just a little short.
Yeah.
Please come here. Stand here.
So this is Jib's daughter.
Okay.
Twin sister.
Next to me.
A lot of people think they're sisters.
See?
So
look at camera.
Yeah. Say hi, Jess. This is Jam, 17.
My twin.
Yeah. A lot of people always like, no, that's not your daughter. That's your sister. And Jim's like, no, I'm 40.
Yeah, I'm 40. Yeah, I'm 40.
Jam's a little camera shy. BMP Chris, do Taiwan from top to bottom. Awesome place, awesome people. Taipei is fun, but Taichung and others have great architectural buildings with forests and nice. Okay, I'll definitely check that out, Chris. Thank you. In 2022, when we can travel internationally again, I'll hit you up for advice. Actually, hopefully you'll be here by then, and we can grab a coffee.
Maybe
and you can fill
he
me
can
in.
be here before we can go out.
Yeah, let's hope. Coffee time. Yes, thank you, sir. I get I'm gonna take me an Apocalypse Now tour of Mekong. Yeah, so I remember when I was in Cambodia and like taking boats on the Mekong, man. It is kind of wild. The Mekong in Thailand is kind of dry now since they dammed it up.
Mekong is the name of the liquor too.
Yeah, but China dammed the Mekong.
So it's changed our ecosystem there.
Yeah.
So like the time that you have like lots of water, it's so dry that like a small animal in the river like died, a lot of them died and dry.
You can actually walk from Thailand to Laos.
Yeah, you can walk across like that. And like for the season, it should be like dry. It's just like full of water, so it just changed.
And Jim says twins.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's funny that a lot of people like no, it can't be your daughter. Like,
it's like maybe when I say like daughter, they would think about like younger, maybe like primary school age.
I think a lot of people get confused when they're like, no, you're not 40. And people think you look too young for Jem to be your daughter. Definitely twins. You need to start a Thai twin channel and fool everyone.
You know, so funny. One time she said like, Ma, can you wear my uniform and go for math exam for me?
Probably could have.
Cannot.
Good one. That's my favorite movie. Such a classic. My half sister's name's Jib too. Jib and Jim. Oh, nice. This guy, is it common nickname, Jib?
Yeah, common nickname here.
Fun place with hidden treasures. Nice. Yeah, what time is it? It's 11:40. We're going hard. I think we're gonna wrap it up, guys. 11:40. Get working on our day. And I got the edit to do to finish the mango sticky rice video as well. Try to drop that tomorrow or Monday. And
when we'll start the durian video.
When is peak season?
It's about soon, but I don't know because it's rained a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe durian not good this year because there's lots of rain.
Oh, let's hope. Double tweens, a nice stall. His name is from Prod Jim. Okay.
Prajim.
All right, guys. With that, we will indeed wrap it up and get work on today. Thank you for hanging out with us on the live stream today. And until next time, keep taking action. Make your ideas reality.